T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Shout out to Kopish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
All the good work.
The two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that guy. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys. Good evening, lovely people. Hope you're well. Welcome back to another edition of the Kop-ish Kall-in show live, the show where you guys get to call in and you get to have your say about what's going on related to Liverpool. And you know what? Even if you don't want to speak about Liverpool, you got 3 minutes. Say what you want to come in and say, and we all have a good little laugh, good little fun, good debates. One of our favorite shows of the week, guys. Hope it's one of yours as well. As always, guys, when we get behind this mic, all that we ask is that you subscribe, comment, and like. Also, make sure you check out the preview for the Bournemouth game if you haven't already. We're delighted to be joined by Back of the Net AFC Bournemouth podcast. Bit of a tongue twister there. Shout out to Sam, who came on from the team there. Go and support what they're doing as well, guys. They're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. And believe you me, getting 10,000 subscribers is not easy. And we're a Liverpool channel, so for a Bournemouth channel to be that close as well, please do go over there and check them out and go and support the boys over there. Shout out to Sam and all the boys at the Back of the Net AFC Bournemouth podcast. So, a few little things to talk about this here. It feels like it's rinse and repeat at the moment with Liverpool, but here we are. It's the same as always, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's the whole midfield situation. Let's make no bones about it. We know what we need. We know what we want. Doesn't seem to be happening. Klopp came out again, spoke about it today, saying that it has to be the right player, has to be the right person. And I'm really torn because I get you want the right person to join. I get that it has to be the best person possible. I do. I get it. But at the same time, perfect isn't always attainable, and upgrading is better than not upgrading, in my opinion. So it really is a tough one. And there's more links to more midfielders. Frankie de Jong, we're not going in for Frankie. That's just not going to happen. Who else? Tielemans, who I know he splits opinion, but personally, I would have got Tielemans as soon as possible because I think you can start him this season, and then if we go and get the quote-unquote top midfielder that we want next summer, that means Tielemans and Thiago can rotate for that left-hand side of midfield slot, and I think very few players can do what Tielemans does. He's a goal threat. He's good on the ball. He's got a great eye for a pass, great passing ability, whether it be short range or long range, and he's of a good age. The only downside, I think, with Tielemans is even though he's an old in terms of age, in terms of being a footballer, he's played a lot of minutes over a lot of years, going back to the age of, 16, 17 when he broke through at Anderlecht. So, again, maybe that might be something they're looking into, but I'm going to be real with you. FSG, Klopp, they're not in my good books at the moment because I think we're really missing a trick with this window. And, again, I think 95% of Liverpool fans would have been more than content with not having to spend 100 mil or 70, 80 mil on a centre midfielder, but we definitely all wanted an upgrade in that position because we know how much it hampers us, especially when we rely so much on our fullbacks. The midfielders become so vital. I mean, you saw the second goal that we conceded against Man United, a bad touch from Henderson, and then boom, we're out. And I'm not saying it's all on Henderson, But maybe a midfielder with better technical ability doesn't make that mistake. Maybe a midfielder is able to bring the ball down and trap it, and we're not in that situation. So, like, it is kind of what it is there. So, me personally, I definitely feel as though we need to do something at the department. Do I think we will? Honestly, I just don't know. I genuinely don't know. And it's highly frustrating for me, if I'm going to be honest, because I don't see why we're and ahhing about this situation. I think it should just be done personally. But again, what can we do? Would love to get your thoughts. If you can, guys, let me know in the comments realistically. And I say realistically because I like, we got to keep it real. Like, who would you go and get if you could? If there's one player you could go and get that's realistic, who would it be and why? I don't think Jude Bellingham's realistic. I don't think that happens at all, if I'm going to be honest. But I hope I'm proven wrong. Shout out to John Conway, who just said, hi, Callum, just gifted 5 memberships. Bless you, John. One of our day ones, man. Really appreciate you, John. Seeing Fabian Ruiz. I know Fabian Ruiz, shout out to Lakers. Fabian Ruiz hasn't actually moved to PSG, as was reported. I mean, he's playing. He will be playing against us if he doesn't leave this summer. Good player. Good player. Here's a predicament we're in, though, in my opinion. And I say this with all due respect. I don't think it's hard to upgrade on that right-hand side of midfield. But I don't want us to just go for anyone either. And I think that's the territory we're sort of leaning into, where us as a fan base, us as a club will just be like, oh, well, we'll just take anyone at this point because, we haven't got anyone. I don't want us to do that. I want the player to be of good quality. I think the player should be of good quality. So if that's not the case, then I would have an issue. But at the same time, on the flip side, I mean, beggars can't be choosers, can they? Because we just can't. So I don't know, guys. It's a tough one, man. It boggles the mind. It really does. It really does boggle the mind because it doesn't seem like there's a clear plan in place. And maybe that's my frustration, the fact that we've known for so long that we're going to be in this situation, but yet still haven't done anything about it. And I think that for me it's very negligent. Dare I say, it's very poor planning in terms of the club as well. But hey ho, we're here now. We've got Bournemouth tomorrow. One thing for sure is that is a must-win game. Like, there's no two ways about that one. Like, if we don't win that, then I don't know. I think it's going to be really rough over the weekend if we won't win that game. And I think we'll start to see a lot of people coming out the woodwork who are not happy about things. And it just gives those people more of a ammunition. I'm seeing a couple of you mention Paqueta. Shout out to Kev from LFC Day Trippers. We were messaging back and forth. We're in a WhatsApp group together. And he really wanted Liverpool to go in for Paqueta if he was available. And he was available. And West Ham have gone and got him. And again, I'm not saying he's the man I would have gone for. But again, it makes you wonder, why not? It genuinely he's someone who could play midfield. He can play on the wing. Again, wouldn't it be my first choice? I know why John, a.k.a. John II, was very high on him as well. Why did we go for him? But look, it's a hell of a signing for West Ham United. Really is a hell of a signing. So we will see. We will see. But people, going to open up the phone lines. As always, you guys will have 3 minutes from the start of your call to the end of your call to say what you want. And then me, Matt and Drift will chop things up. So come and join us, please. Let's see who we're going to have in first. Also, Isak to Newcastle. Massive deal. Newcastle are really going about their business in a smart way. They've upgraded their whole spine effectively now. You've got Nick Pope, Botman, Bruno Guimaraes, and now Isak. Not to mention Kieran Trippier, target left back. Got to hand it to them. All right, let's get the first caller on the show. Baby Assassin, can you hear me?
Yeah, brother. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, bro. How you doing?
I'm fine. Where's Drifty? Drifty, am I then coming?
Yeah, they will be here shortly. They'll be joining shortly.
Yeah. So, I just wanted to ask you guys, like, as of right now, where do you rank Klopp among the Premier League managers in the Premier League era? Because for me, I rank him at like fourth or fifth position. For me, guys like Mourinho, Ferguson, Pep, probably even Wenger is ahead of him. So I just wanted to ask you, where do you rank him? And
Okay.
so now going away from football a little bit,
Yeah.
let's talk about my man Anthony Joshua.
Go for it.
Kind of starting to think a little bit that this guy is he's fraudulent, man. He's a little bit fraudulent, bro.
It's a bit of a mad one at the moment. Can't lie.
And then, you know what the thing is, like, I don't have a lot of friends in UK and around them, and I know you guys are real. You guys keep it real. You guys talk the talk, like, keep it real, keep it 100. A lot of my friends that I've talked to, they get just angered when I say, man, Anthony Joshua a little bit fraudulent. They get, oh no, what are you saying, man? He's not a fraud. You think this guy is beaten? I'm like, what do you think is AJ's career highlight as of right now in all of his fights? For me, it's still probably the Klitschko one.
Yeah, it is Klitschko.
But I said, bro, the Klitschko was 42 years old, man. 42. And he still put him down. he still put him down. I'm like, bro.
I'll argue, though, that was a better version of Klitschko than the one that fought Tyson Fury, though.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. But then I'm like, bro, as soon as he fought a good, like, Usyk is generational. Like, let's not get it wrong. Usyk is generational. But I'm like, he was outclassed in every front. In every front. Like, other than that ninth round, I don't think he even did anything in combining both fights.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to get, your views on Joshua, and like, what's next for him? What do you think he's gonna do next? Like, is he gonna take a lower bout fight or probably fight another fraud, Deontay Wilder? Our drift is not here.
No, yeah, you're brave saying that.
Yeah, he's a fraud, man. I'm not gonna shy say that guy is a fraud. So yeah, so that's it for me.
That now for you, bro. Baby Assassin,
no
always
problem.
a legend, bro. Thank you, man.
Thank you for having me on, bro. Thank you.
Thank you, bro. Take care, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'll start with the ranking Klopp out of Premier League all-time managers. That's a tough one. I think Fergie comes top. I don't think that's even a debate. I think Pep's in there. I think Mourinho's got to be in there. Outside that, it's difficult to say. Very difficult to say. I think Klopp's in there. The thing is with Klopp, in terms of accolades, Klopp's not close to any of those three. But in terms of contextually, how he built a team and the resources he had to work for, if you look at Fergie, Pep, and Mourinho, at one stage or another, they were always able to spend the most in the league. And again, you have to caveat that as well, because you see how much Man United have spent over the years recently, and they still haven't had success. So I think it just goes to show about the quality of manager is important. I'm sorry, I wasn't going to mention him because I wanted to wind up some Arsenal fans. Obviously, Wenger's in there as well. I can't be too shady. Wenger is obviously in there. I just wanted to rile up you Arsenal fans. So Fergie's top. I'd probably go Wenger second, even though the accolades may have not been up to par with like Pep and Mourinho. But again, it's the culture he breeded, the culture he built, and what he did. So I've got Wenger second. Then I'd probably go Pep, and then Klopp, and then Mourinho, as things stand. So Klopp's in my top 5. as things stand. But it's not an easy one. Anthony Joshua now. So everyone knows I'm a Joshua fan. I rate Joshua. I like him as a person, as a fighter. I think what we saw after that fight against Usyk, I think we saw a mental breakdown from a man who is struggling to deal with the position that he's in at the moment. And when I say position, I'm talking about coming up a guy who's bettered you twice, but also coming up against this, not against the system, in British boxing where everything was put on his shoulders. Like, I know Tyson Fury gets a lot of the accolades and the glory now, but without Joshua, I don't think the heavyweight division is what it is right now. Granted, Fury had a role to play in that because he beat Klitschko and won the belts, but he also gave up the belts. So he went through what he went through. I'm not going to go into Tyson Fury's situation. Some of it is like unfortunate. Other parts of his story were, you know, kind of brought on himself, which I think sometimes it goes under the carpet. I think Joshua had a mental breakdown, and I do think people around him really need to, you know, kind of be there for him right now, because I wouldn't even say that's the real Joshua came out. That's a Joshua that we've never seen before. A Joshua that looked shocked with what's going on in his life, and it came out in front of everybody. And look, it's hard for someone like that. Like me, Matt and Drift will tell you, we've come on here and done streams where we've had personal stuff going on, and honestly, it's really difficult. Some of you will know about it, some of you won't know about it, but it's difficult. So for him to have stuff going on probably behind the scenes and then come out and lose and then all of that, there's something going on. But at the same time, the way he acted, the disrespect he showed to Usyk and his team, the disrespect he showed to people in the audience, the disrespect he showed to boxing as a whole, shocking. And he can't be allowed to think that that's okay, because it wasn't. It was one of the worst displays I've seen post-fight from a boxer, and it weren't nice to watch that. And it was very, very, very annoying to see someone do that, especially. And you know, I've got a shout out to Usyk and his team. They were very good, because I'll be real with you, there's some boxing teams out there and there's some boxers who would not have let him get away with that in the ring. And I mean that from a physical standpoint. Like, it would have got very techie in there for him and his team, because he was being so disrespectful. So yeah, it's a bit mad, but it'd be interesting. I look forward to seeing him have an interview with someone like Kugan Cassius, who will be able to get everything out of him and then kind of move from there. But I do think he's had a mental breakdown, and it happens to everyone at one stage. Like, let's be real. Now it's just a case of hopefully the right people are around him to help him get through it, and he takes the necessary steps to get through it as well. Right, let's get the next caller in. Cal's Neto Army, welcome to the show, bro.
How you doing, bro? You good?
Not too bad, brother. Yourself? Well, I know you're not okay. Talk to me. Therapy session starts.
All right. Listen, man. Just quickly before I start, big up to my boy, my Brum boy. He brought the flipping championship back to the fucking sticks. You know how.
Look at me now.
Look at me now. Headshot. And I can't lie to you, that's the only positive thing that you're hearing for the next 3 minutes. I can't lie. So big up to Rocky. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Jürgen Klopp. Klopp. He comes out again and says the same thing over and over again. And bro, he's gotten to a point where I'm just like, why are you asking him the question? We all know it's not going to happen. Whether we want it to happen or not, Callum, we know it's not going to happen. We're not going to sign a central midfielder. And it's annoying, man. I can't lie, it's annoying now, because what's the point? Like, listen, I don't want to say this, but I have to, man. Jordan Henderson is washed. He's absolutely pants. He's pants, man. Like, I couldn't name you 5 midfielders in the Premier League that he's better than. I couldn't name you 5 if I had to really think about it. Because what's the point, man? Sentimentality has killed Liverpool, man. And we can sit here and say that FSG are not giving him the funds. Let's keep it real, Cal. If me and you are being honest, we don't even need the funds that much. It's just Klopp needs to get rid of this sentimentality bullshit. Because I'm saying this right now. Klopp's sentiment is worse than FSG's penny pinching. That's a question for you. Which one's worse? FSG's penny pinching or Klopp's sentimentality? Because I'm being real. If Klopp had the fucking ball sacks to drop some players and get rid of them, we would be in a much better position. Because do you know what? You strengthen from a position of power. You strengthen from a position of power and of a position from greatness. Because in the 1920 season, we were on top of the fucking world, and we still didn't buy a centre back, and we sold one to bring in Simicas. And now, I'm saying right now, our midfield options right now, outside of Thiago and Fabinho, wouldn't even be top 10. Milner should not have got a new contract, Carl. I'm sorry. Milner on his own account is not good enough to be a Liverpool player. He just is not a good enough player to be a Liverpool. Curtis Jones should get sold. And I remember, Cal, when I told you this 2 months ago, you were defending him for your life. You can't defend him now. You know he ain't good enough. You know it. Whether you think he should go on loan or not, you know he ain't good enough. What's it called? Henderson is pants. I'm sorry. Horrendous. He is absolutely diabolical. I defended this guy no more. Get him out of my club. I'm sorry. Next summer, I don't want to see Henderson at Liverpool ever again. He's finished. The guy can't pass a ball. He can't trap a ball. He can't defend. He can't pass. He can't shoot. What the fuck is he there to do? To shout and point? Get him out of my club. Then you got Fabinho.
That's your 3 minutes, bro. That's your 3 minutes.
Okay,
I'll give you another 30 seconds and then I'll wrap it up. Go on. I'll let you finish.
Fabinho, I feel sorry for the guy, man, because the guy is just not getting enough chances from the midfielders. You know what, Carl? I want to hear from you. I want you to talk about every single midfielder and talk about whether they are in their own right good enough to be at Liverpool at this stage. That's the last question. I want to hear it from your mouth. And I'm telling you, Carl, September the 10th, we meet again when Hamza fights Nate. If I hear anything good come out of your mouth about Milner and Henderson, you best believe I'm coming for you, Carl. You best believe it. Best believe it, bro.
Let me chop it up now.
Big up, bro. Big up.
Nice one, bro. All right. First and foremost, for everyone in the comments, I know you don't all agree with what he said, but what I always say on this channel is everyone's got a right to an opinion. And if you want to disagree with Cow's Network Army's opinion, feel free, but please don't be abusive. He's not been abusive to you. He's not been abusive to me, Matt, or Drift. Please don't be abusive to him, whether you agree or disagree. All right. Now, okay. I'm going to chop up what he said. So, Cow's Network Army and I, we speak offline, and he knows I've got nothing but love for him. But again, I'm not going to sugarcoat what I say in response to what he said. When he says he can't name 5 midfielders in the league better than Henderson, I think that's a shocking statement. I do think sentiment and purse strings are actually just as bad as each other. I don't think one's worse than the other. Curtis Jones now, in fact, I'll get back to that when I go through the list of midfielders as he asked me to. The Hendo leaving, no. Definitely not at this stage. I think that'd be crazy if Hendo left right now. And look, let me break down all the midfielders. Henderson, for me, is a very good squad player, but he shouldn't be a starter. Milner shouldn't have to be playing these games, but he's having to be playing these games because of other midfielders. So effectively, Milner should be 7th or 8th choice, but Milner is probably 4th choice as things stand. That's actually not Milner's fault. So I can't be too annoyed, but at the same time, Milner should be nowhere near starting for Liverpool. Curtis Jones. I think Curtis Jones has the talent and the ability to be a top player, but he's not putting it together right now. And as a result of that, I think he should go on loan. At worst, we should sell him with a buyback clause, if I'm going to be completely honest. Harvey Elliott, I think, is a bright spot. However, I think he needs someone in that midfield he can learn from. So I don't think he should be a nailed-on starter, but as things stand right now, he'd start for me in the midfield 3 if everyone's fit. Naby Keita is not the Naby Keita we bought. He's just not that guy. And the injuries and all the stuff around it, I think he should be sold. Oxlade-Chamberlain, injuries and inconsistencies, I think he should be sold. Who else have we got? Fabio Carvalho, I mean, is he even a midfielder in Klopp size? I don't know. So again, he just comes, so nothing on that. Fabinho, for me, on form is the best DM in world football. I think Fabinho, whether you rate him or not, I think is top 3 DMs in world football. It's between him, Rodri, and Casemiro, in my opinion. Thiago, but however, with Fabinho, I think he's been run into the ground, which is a dangerous thing and worries me a bit. And I think we need someone to come in and back him up. Pause. And then finally, Thiago, world class, fantastic, but he's not available enough. Therefore, we have to treat him as a player who is a luxury. And if he's available, then we play him. If he's not, or if there's a game where we don't necessarily need him, and again, no disrespect to Bournemouth, but let's say he's fit right now and we're playing Bournemouth tomorrow, I don't think that's a game where Thiago has to start. So for me, I'd rest Thiago in those games. But yeah, that's my breakdown in the midfield. I don't know how everyone else sees it, but that's just me. All right, let's get the next caller on. Mtar Mizzy.
Boy, Cal.
I know.
I'm going to say that. Oh well. Anyways,
talk to me, brother. What you got?
First of all, big up to you and Luke for the show that you guys made. I was in the chat and I said to you guys that there's one series because at one point the chat was talking about the series, about TV series.
Yeah.
And I know you're quite busy, but if you have time, you just go on YouTube and look for this the fight scenes from the series called Warrior. It was co-produced by it was co-produced by the daughter of Bruce Lee, and it was Bruce Lee's idea on before he passed away. He just pitched, but it didn't made into fruition. But yeah, go check it out.
I will do, bro.
Yeah. Just some. I mean, just the fight scenes. It's great because the whole series. I'm not gonna lie. There's some scenes where, I don't think your kids are entitled to watch because there's adult adult content on there. So yeah,
Okay.
I'll leave it there. Yeah. Just a couple of questions. First of all, on football in general, what's your thought on the tactical going forward? Do you think that there's going to be 2 strikers going forward that teams are implementing? The likes of Lukaku and the Argentine Martinez from Inter. Yeah. Do you reckon that it's going to be a rarity, or do you reckon that it's going to be like a plan B kind of thing where even probably Darwin or one other forward when Jota comes back? So how do you see it going forward in terms of the evolution of football? And this is back to last week, the Jackie Chan thing. Do you reckon that action movies are like a drop off nowadays? The starrings like your Sammo Hung and Jet Li not in the industry. What do you reckon on the action movies as a whole? Probably could be due to the American Western influence, like the stunt team coming out now. So you probably employ a Shakespeare-based actor to star the movie. Yeah. So yeah, those are my questions, and I like you guys to chop it up.
You're a
Big
star
up,
as always,
guys.
bro. Bless you, bro.
Just before you go, Tom, Izzy, big
Oi.
up for letting me know about the Mortal Kombat animated movies. Yeah. That's some legit shit, bro. I watched them. Yeah. Yeah, that's proper. That's proper.
Just, I bet you enjoy that than the real one. You know the.
Oh
the
yeah,
adaptation.
with 1000%.
Yeah.
1000%. Yeah, man. I
But
mean,
yeah,
Sub-Zero
take care,
didn't have a
guys.
big enough role, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, big up,
Big up, brother.
Yeah.
Just want to say a little big up to a couple of special people in the comments. KG, I see you with the Henderson slander, and big up Lee. I can't even get Lee at the moment. His team's top of the league at the moment. So big up to Lee and big up to KG. Tactics, 2 strikers. I don't think we'll see an evolution of going back to 2 strikers personally, only because I think there's a shortage of top strikers out there.
Yeah,
I do think we'll start to see more teams playing 3 at the back and rotating between 3 at the back or 4 at the back. I don't know what you think about that, Drift. 2
strikers will come back round again at some point.
You think so?
Yeah, maybe in maybe 15 years time, maybe, or something, when there's a whole host of strikers about, and maybe managers have changed it up a bit, things get a bit boring, whatever it may be. Formations will probably end up like fashion, where it will have a cycle, go around, we'll be unfashionable again, and we'll come back round and we'll be, do you know what I mean? Like, I think it will happen. I think Leicester winning the league playing 4-4-2 effectively also shows it can still be done. So yeah, I think it will come back round again.
Shall I tell you why I'm skeptical? Because back in the day, you'll attest to this because you're a striker. Everyone wanted to be a striker growing up until they started to realize there's other positions that you could play in and be good at. Now it feels like the glamour position is the wide forward as opposed to the striker. And I think loads of teenagers, and when I used to do kids coaching and stuff, it used to be that wide forward. I don't want to be the central striker. I want to be a wide forward. So I feel as though that's why we're maybe starting to see a shortage of striker in this generation, because everyone wants to be a wide forward. So if I was to say to you right now, name me 10 top wide forwards, we could reel those off easy and have a debate on who gets in the top 10. If I said to you right now, Drift, tell me 10 top strikers, we'd probably stop at 6 or 7. And I think that's because they're kind of just...
Well, I mean, there's tons of them around. If you're just talking about like the top level, then it would be a bit hard, yeah. Well, there's loads of strikers though, you know what I mean?
But
every team's got a striker, effectively.
No, I hear it, but how many would you say are actually in that top echelon or top class echelon in the Premier League? I wouldn't say there's loads.
No, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, if you're talking about like world class or anything like that, then the conversation doesn't go very far. But if you're just talking about literally how many strikers there are in the world, as in like the position, then I'd probably say every single team on the planet has a striker. So there's still strikers around. Do you get what I mean?
Fair dues.
But yeah, we'll see, innit? We'll see.
Action movies, I do think there has been a drop-off. Did you know what? There has been a drop-off because they're probably not as regular as they used to be. But when they do make a good one, it sticks out now. But then that could be again because there is a shortage of good ones coming out regularly. But like the John Wicks, they're good. I do wish they had made a third Raid movie. But it doesn't seem like that's going to happen.
I've thought about this before, you know. I reckon it's a combination of a few things. I think as an audience, we're not gullible anymore. As a people, I think we're too cynical now. As a whole worldwide society, I think we're too judgmental. Everybody's always looking for bad rather than appreciating the good. And I think it makes action films hard to make now. Because everybody goes, that would never happen. Oh, whatever, man. And all that kind of stuff. Whereas back in the day, people may have done that a little bit, but they'll still be more just in awe of what they were watching and just enjoy it for what it was. Like, if you go cinema now, most of the time when you're on your way out, you just hear people going, that was kind of crap, innit, man? And like, people are just really quick to just write things off. And you've almost got to create like a masterpiece nowadays before anybody gives you any credit for it. So I don't know, bro. Like, my 3 favorite films, if they were made now, I don't even know if anybody would care about them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like sometimes I rewatch like one or two of the Terminators that have been made, and they're nowhere near as good as 1 and 2. Like that's a fact. But the last one that was made, it weren't too bad. But I just think the day and age we're in now, everyone's like, oh, God, this is crap, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Maybe if that was made in the 80s, everybody would have loved it. But I don't know. That's just my theory anyway.
No, that's a fair point. Fair points. Right, let's get the next caller in. It's been a little while since we've seen him. I've got to actually apologize to him on a personal level because I didn't respond to his message. And he messaged me. But it's the one, the only Zaburi with the locks. You're on mute, brother.
You're on mute, B.
What's going on, man? How you guys doing?
Apologies.
I don't even recall. Now you got me looking crazy out here. I don't even know what that was.
No, you sent me a message and I read it and I completely forgot to respond to you. So apologies.
I hope it wasn't nothing serious because I don't remember. But all right, now it's calm. Now I'm gonna have to check that. Did I ask you for money or something? No. What's going on, Jeff? How you doing?
Yeah, what's good, B? What's good, man? What's good?
I'm alright. Hey, that movie thing got me thinking, man. You guys seen Predator? Like
what,
you guys follow that series?
I think
it's like a series now. They're cutting it up into like a series. I see they give us a little prequel with the Prey. You know, I rate it, you know.
Yeah,
I don't know if you might have seen the new one.
Prey ain't too bad. And I didn't even know it was a Terminator movie I was about to watch. I just thought it looked like you know, I watched like there's a tiny little clip of where a bear gets lifted up by what looks like some kind of alien, and I thought, oh, okay, you know, at least it was like Apocalypto but with a little some kind of alien in it. I was like, ah, cool. And once I watched, I was like, hold on, is this Predator? I was like, oh shit. So yeah, that Prey's all right. But Predator's my favorite movie of all time. Like the original Predator, that's my favorite movie of all time. Come on.
My guy drifted. Yeah, nah, it threw me for a loop because I be bootlegging movies and I couldn't find it. Because I'm typing in Predator and it came up as Prey. And I'm clicking past and I'm like, yo, I'm like the bootleg god. Movies don't miss me. So where is this? It took me like 3 days to find out the title was Prey. But what I want to ask you, man, it's a bit controversial. If y'all don't want to touch it, it's fine.
Go on.
But yo, you know, like with the trend of society, they try to like push certain narratives. And I mean, people do with sports and stuff like that. You know, I mean, bring up people past or incidents, and then be like, "Oh, is that affecting his play?" and stuff like that. I'm noticing a trend with like female leads in movies, and just this whole feminism agenda. I don't mind it as long as it makes sense. So I know the Predator movie got a lot of backlash because people was like, you telling me this female didn't done up the Predator dude? And I watched it. I'm like, nah, I ain't even seen that. You know what I'm saying? So it did get a bad review for that, Drift. I don't know if you saw the same elements in there, but I have an issue with some of these female lead movies, man, because they don't make no sense. But the Predator one was actually decent. You know what I'm saying? Because, like you say, you seen how they wore them down, so that kind of made sense. But the outlandish ones, man, where one chick doing the John Wick thing, just smirking 100 dudes, and it's like, yo, surely she got to get shot at least once or twice. You know what I'm saying? Like doing up to Steven Seagal coming out the fight unscathed. And I'm like, yo, I know there's some bad chicks out there, but yo, you got to get touched. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all can't be Messi dribbling through 10 men and just not getting tackled hard. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if you saw it in the movie, and I don't know if you guys see that agenda. And so that's one piece with the whole female agenda thing. And then the second piece, I'm going to bring it back to Klopp. Yo, I know I said this maybe a season and a half ago, maybe it was last season. I feel like your boy's skating through of moments of magic. I said this last season, I looked like a crazy guy. But I'm failing to see how he's developing players. I think in the last time I brought it up, somebody mentioned Lewandowski and Gerrard. And I'm like, yo, if players going to bang, they're going to bang. You know what I mean? And I don't see how he's doing that for anybody at Liverpool in his 7 years. I can't tell you a guy, yo, Pep squeezed him up into this gem. Because he had Minamino to squeeze up. He didn't do it. Origi, he didn't do it. A couple other mans, he ain't really doing it. The only thing I'm seeing him doing is taking man out their element and asking them to do some other stuff. So that's the narrative I'm pushing. I know there's a lot of variables, you know, losing family member, COVID, and all that good stuff. But surely my man is just running off vibes right now. And what I think about the vibes thing, that's just another Ali, man, with the accolades, doing the same thing and hopefully get some magic. So those are the two narratives I want you, man, to chop up: the female agenda and our boy Pep running off vibes, because he came in and all we had to give him was vibes, and he got the vibes. But now we need more. He ain't got nothing more than vibes, man. How much beer is he going to chug to win us over? So I'm saying take the trophies away. My man is looking Ali-ish, you know. So that's all I got for you,
man. You want to speak about Pep Linders or Klopp or both?
Nah, do Klopp. Pep Linders is a show in itself. We should probably title that up. I'm ready whenever you men are, because I can do 5 shows on Pep right now. Man. Pep is giving me so much material. I can talk about him all season. So only do Klopp, because Pep will be all day. And if y'all want to throw something in there about Pep, I'll listen and just add to the show later when we do the show, and we'll go from there. All right,
man. All right, G, in a bit, man.
All right, take care, man.
Big up, man. Big up.
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Which topic we're gonna tackle first?
We'll do the female agenda one.
Yeah. If I'm being completely honest with you, you're not really allowed to speak your mind these days, so it's a very techie one.
I'm happy to speak my mind on it still.
It's a very techie one, and it just goes, I don't know. Do you know what it is? I love female leads in movies when it makes sense. Absolutely love it. So it's got nothing to do with it being a female. Like, for example, when people had a problem with Terminator being female, I was like, why? You're just having a problem for no reason. What's wrong with Terminator being female? Like, that makes zero sense. Terminator can be whatever Terminator is. But I don't know, it's one of them things where it's just a little bit, a small dainty female beating up a 22-stone henchman who's trained to fight just doesn't happen. So that's where I've got a problem with it, of like, you just took it too far kind of thing. Do you get what I mean? So it's like, don't do it just for the sake of doing it. All right, put it like this. I don't want to bring race into it, but it's almost like, if you're only hiring someone because of the color of their skin, you're doing the wrong thing. You should be hiring people based on their skill, but there are plenty of people with skill in that ethnicity or of ethnicity that should already be in your environment. Don't do the whole what we call black token or brown token, and you just literally just put a man in there because you're trying to make yourself look good. That's what you call forcing it. That's wrong. It's the same thing with a female lead. Don't just force it so that it looks like you. Do you know what I mean? Actually make it make sense to what the film is, and then it's all good. That's all I say. Just don't do it for the sake of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. There's a few agendas being pushed right now. This is the one obviously Zabiri's asked us about. I'm not a fan of the agenda. In fact, I really despise the agenda because it just gives out a false narrative, as you said. And for me, it's not even about the technicalities. About, you know, if a short or a dainty woman would be able to deal with a 22-stone man who's trained to fight. It's the notion of you're not getting something based on merit. You're getting something based on biology or an agenda. And for me, that shouldn't be how it is. And I'll use another example. The James Bond movies, there was a massive, you know, push for Idris Elba to be the James Bond. And I was one of the few people who kind of came out and was like, no, he shouldn't get it. Like, what, we're pushing it because he's black? Because James Bond is not black. Like, he's not black. If that's the case and you want Idris to be a James Bond, go and create a James Bond type of film for Idris and let him be that guy. Then don't just shoehorn him in because he's black. Because James Bond isn't black. It's like having a white. Look, I'm going to switch it now. Imagine they said Keanu Reeves is going to play Black Panther. Brother, we would go nuts. Could you imagine? Like, you'd see.
It wouldn't even happen, bro.
But do you see what I mean, though? It's like, Why are we trying to force it? Let's just be who we are and let the books and the films be what they are. Like, stop doing these agendas. Like, just be what we are. It doesn't need to be forced. Things will come to the top. Cream rises to the top. There are some serious females in every single walk of life. Let them get to the top. Don't just shoehorn them in there or there. Because you know what you're also doing? You're taking away from their accomplishments. You're taking away from their journey, their story. Make it make sense and stop with this whole nonsense. Like, it's got to stop. I'm all for people rising up, and I'll support anyone who deserves it. But I'm not just going to throw someone in because they're a woman or because they're black or because they're Asian. No, it has to make sense, and it has to be what it is. I'm personally sick and tired and fed up of it. I hate the narrative. I hate agendas being pushed. Let things happen naturally and let it be fair. So who knows? We may get in a little hot water for this, but you know what? I've always said, and I've always been told by my family and friends and parents, if there's a principle I have and I believe in it, I'm going to stand on it, and it is what it is from there.
No, I hear exactly what you're saying, bro. Like you said, man, it's always, agendas, isn't it? And it doesn't matter what it is. It's unfair to do it. Yeah. If you're somewhere, should be there because of hard work, innit? Like you said, and because you deserve it, not just because it's like, oh yeah, let's just be here for the sake of being here. So
it's like, if Liverpool, let's say Liverpool approach one of us and we're like, yeah, we want to host for we want to host for a new show we're doing. And I turn around and say, oh, why am I getting a show? Why is it me and not, like, I don't know, James Redmond, for example, who's got way more followers, way more subscribers. And they go, we want to tap into your demographic. But be real to you, the response I'm going to give is not going to be very pretty. Like, hire me because you think I'm best for the role. Don't hire me because you want to use me for something or to use me to push an agenda. Hire me because I'm the best, or don't hire me at all. So, it is what it is.
I still believe Nunes could thump up some of them man in the latter division still, but I still believe it, bro.
I'm gonna be real with you. She can't, bro. She can't.
I still think she can thump up some of them man there.
No, she can't. She can't. Mighty Mouse would. Mighty Mouse will deal with her bad still.
Like, I don't know about that, you know, bro.
I promise you. Developing players and Klopp. What are we saying? Because I disagree to an extent, but I also agree to an extent with that. So what are you saying?
How I look on it is, we don't have anybody in the team that I think who needed to really be developed anymore, other than the young players like Jones, Elliott, and now Carvalho. So I kind of think, who really was he meant to improve? Because I did see some people talking about this. Was it Twitter? Or I can't remember where it was, but I heard some people talking about this. And I just think, if you look at the majority of our squad.
Vern's comment. I said, Meatball Molly gripped me up once. She has power. I'm guessing you're not trained, no, Vern. So yeah, but Molly McCann would batter me in a fight. It wouldn't even be close. But I'm not trained. It wouldn't even be close. It'd be ugly still.
Yeah. Meatball's serious. What was I saying? Yeah. So I don't know if you agree, but I just don't think anybody in the squad needed to be improved anymore. They're of that age where they are already who they are. And I'm not saying there's that cliche, I can improve every day, I can get better every day. But really and truthfully, sometimes we all know that that's just crap. You get to an age where you are who you are, and you're not really going to get any better, are you? Do you know what I mean? If you look at the core of our squad, they're all 29 and up. What more improvement can you really make to a 29-year-old and up? So for me, I think the only way to judge his recent development would just be Curtis Jones, and now with Elliott and Carvalho, really. And I mean, you could arguably even say he's improved Jota. Jota came in at 23, and Jota's definitely a better player at Liverpool than he was at Wolves. So he's improved Jota, and that was another young player. But I mean, everybody else, they're already who they are. And I think it's a little disingenuous to not count all of the players he did. It's like, what has he got to do it every year to be good at it? Like, if you look at everyone in our squad, they've all improved under Klopp. All of them. Maybe apart from James Milner, who was already who he is. But Hendo's got better under Klopp. Flacco arguably got better under Klopp. Alisson's arguably got better under Klopp. Van Dijk definitely got better under Klopp. Matip got better under Klopp. Robertson goes without saying. Trent owes his career to Klopp. Mane got better under him. Salah got better under him. Bobby got better under him. So it's like, come on, guys. Let's not like forget all what he did because the last few years have been a little bit off. You know what I mean? Like, come on, we can't do that. That's very unfair to one of the greatest managers of all time and one of the greatest Liverpool managers of all time. Like, I think that's very disingenuous, in my opinion, anyway.
So that's the part I agree with you on and disagree with Zabiri on. But the part I agree with him on is your Minaminos, your Origis, your Curtis Jones, your Naby Keitas. There are players there who is not improved. And again,
but maybe is it his fault they didn't improve?
No, I was just going to say, you could say that for every manager in history, that there are players that he's not, there's players that managers haven't improved. Like Fergie, you can go through a list. But I'm only looking at Liverpool, and I don't think it was hard to improve Origi, personally. And I don't think he ever gave him the chances he should have had.
Didn't give him the chances. I 100% agree with that.
Naby Keita is the thing with Naby, I don't know if he's lost that dynamism because of the injuries or is instructions for him to play so within himself from what we've seen him being able to do at Leipzig. Minamino, I don't think he improved under Klopp. So there are a few. Curtis Jones is probably the one that's the most worrying at the moment.
That's the one that stands out. But sometimes he might not be good enough to improve. Sometimes it just is what it is. Like, it's not even on the manager or the coach. You're just not good enough.
But I shall tell you what it is, though, Drift. And maybe I'm just being a bit fickle and silly here. But when I watch Curtis Jones play for the under-18s and under-23s, bro, what he was doing was special. Like,
yeah, that's why
I was watching him. Remember, I was raving about him well before he came to the team, and like Demo as well. And like, I genuinely believed, like, Curtis is going to be that guy, And I look at him now, and I'm like, I don't even know if I want to see Curtis in the starting 11 or even come off the bench now. And for me, that's quite telling. But the boy's still young.
But that could be on him. I'm not saying you can tell he's professional, but like that could just be on him. Sometimes it just doesn't work. Like,
yeah, very true. Very true. Very true. Right, let's get the next caller in. Man, like Rods.
Yo, my camera's moving kind of shaky tonight, Hold on.
Nah, you're cool, man. You see, I've got the hair sorted, Rods. Yeah, I'm good now, yeah?
Whoa, Brady, staying on the thing in the dark. Listen, right? You're my brethren and everything like you're my brethren, You're my brethren, that. But I must disagree with you on something. That last thing with the agendas and stuff, and you saying about sort of like Idris Elba. A lot of people I spoke to them think that wanting him to get the role because he actually is a good actor. He actually is good. It wasn't based on his colour thing and everything that. Although it would have been refreshing at the day to see a person that looks like me and looks like you at the day and looks like Drifty at the day, right? Because Drifty a black man still, dog. If you're a black man still, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Of course, you're a black man now, but
and life ain't never let me and know anything different, bro.
No, Tingo. But you see what it is, it'd be refreshing to see, obviously, a person of our colour play that. But that wasn't the agenda of why, well, when I spoke to a lot of people, and even myself, that I wanted Idris Elba to get that role. I want Idris Elba to get that role from that because he is very good. He's a very good actor. I've seen him in Lufa. He was heavy in Lufa. That was heavy. That was a good film. So really and truly, I want him to get it on his acting ability, not because of his colour. Do you know what I mean? But they will never let that happen. Do you know what I mean? As we sort of like, like James Bond ain't black and this and that. You got to think about it. There was a lot of roles in the day that went to white people back in the day that the character was actually of color. Do you understand what I'm saying? One of them went in the day. Do you remember Cleopatra?
Yeah.
Cleopatra. Who played that? Can you tell me who played that?
Can't remember the actress name, but yeah.
Elizabeth Taylor. Elizabeth Taylor played anything that. Do you know what I mean? And all these sort of like characters you had from biblical times and everything that. Even Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ was of color. You cannot be in a country like that and be pale skin. He was a Caucasian, but yet we'd be bombarded with those images for centuries. Do you know what I mean? So it's a bit like it doesn't come down to color. To me, at the end of the day, to me and a lot of people I spoke to, it came down to acting ability. Because considering Idris Elba, he was a DJ. And he got discovered and got put into acting and that. And I think he's done very well. And I think at the end of the day, so like, you know, he would have deserved that role, not because of his color, because of the merit of an actor he is. He's very good. He's done plenty of other stuff. Now, let's get back to football, yeah? Let's go back to football.
No, I hear you.
Let's go forward. Listen, at the end of the day, right, this is it, right? At the end of the day, right, this is where I see it. With Liverpool, for Gerrard Houllier days and everything that, right, we always make the same mistake. We never strengthen from the strength of power. We never do that. You can go back to Gerrard Houllier days and everything like, and what did he done? He got rid of people like Nicolas Anelka and people like that. And he brought in Salif Diao, El Diouf. Do you know what I mean? And before you know it, right, we had a team in the day that couldn't complete. Then we brought Benitez. Benitez went down the same road as Gerrard Houllier did. Do you know what I mean? Then we brought in Roy Hodgson, didn't we? Brought in Roy Hodgson. We can't really talk about Roy Hodgson because you know what I mean? I idiot that. But then we brought in Kenny Dalglish and everything that. Then it went downhill. Do you know what I mean? Brendan Rodgers and for that. Brendan Rodgers really had a good team at one time. He had Coutinho, he had Sturridge, Skirtle, a whole heap of people. He had a good team at one time. Yeah? But after that season, when we came close and everything that, right, went downhill. I see the same thing happening with Klopp. For whatever reason, whether it's a board's fault or whether it's Klopp's fault, Liverpool are not strengthening from power. So that thing that happened the other day with Man United and everything that, I saw that coming. I was sitting down in the chair watching my brother and everything that, because I did the watch along. I was sitting down watching it. I said, you know what? We're going to lose this tonight. We're going to lose this. I saw it coming. From the time they started and everything that, and Man United were literally all over us. They're all over us and everything that, right? Trent Alexander and everything that, right? In that game with Fulham, right? He lost the ball 38 times. 38 times. You know why? He doesn't hold his position. He needs to hold his position. If Trent stays in his position, yeah, we'll be more better off. Stay in your position, defend first, then go forward when you can. But he's not doing that. He's playing like a midfielder. So if you want to be a midfielder, why don't you say to Klopp, put me in midfield and put Gomez as right back? Because I want to be a midfielder. We're losing too many goals down his side in the field. And what he does, when he loses the ball in the field, he just jogs. He doesn't even get back there to get that ball. It was a field day for Man United. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And now they're saying that like, oh, they're not going to buy anybody. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, where'd you go for that? I'm just saying this and that. If we go down that road again, the dark days again, it'd be very hard for me to get behind the team. I will just stop watching football completely. Do you know what I mean? Not watch another team. I'll just football completely because I cannot go down that road again because we've been down too many times for Liverpool fans, and when it's preventable, you can prevent these sort of things. You know that, and I know that. But big respect.
Come on, blessings as always, brother.
Big up, G. Big up.
Big respect, Gifty, brother.
Big up, G.
And
big up.
We'll catch up, man. I'll send some stuff to you as well, brother. Yeah.
Yes, please do, brother.
All right, big man. Respect, yeah.
Big up, big up.
Take care.
I can't really disagree with much Rod said, to be honest with you.
We rarely disagree with Rod. The man knows his stuff.
I can't really disagree with much.
On the Trent thing, I absolutely agree with everything Rod says. My biggest issue with Trent is I think he's lazy, or I think he's being lazy at the moment. And I'm not talking about his defending. I'm talking about even when he's on the ball. The amount of times Trent could trap the ball and, you know, just pass it back and build up play and then gradually build up play. But as soon as he gets the ball, it's almost like it's the first thing that comes to his mind is I've got to hit a 60-yard pass. I've got to hit a 40 or 50-yard pass. Sometimes you just need to take the sting out of the game. Sometimes you just need to build from the back. Sometimes you just need to play it into midfield and then, you know, try and make your run late to basically stifle the other team. But when he's playing the way he's playing, it makes it so easy to defend because you look at him and you think, okay, he's either going to do a diagonal cross field ball aiming for Diaz, or he's going to try and play it down the line to Salah. It's pretty easy to defend. Now, granted, he gets the ball right, you wipe out the team. But you're relying on perfection. And to rely on perfection when there's so many other variables and so many other options, I think it's got to stop. But there's no alternative right now.
Do you know what, bro? I don't even think it's laziness. I actually think it's complacency / arrogance. And I think we forget sometimes with Trent because we've got a team full of humble players who work hard and that's been our philosophy. I think we forget that he came into the team at 18 and he's still only 23. And you're watching the same thing happen with Mbappe at PSG, but they've just got they've got no like older statesman to really stop it happening, whereas we do. So that's why it probably may have not got that level of like out of control. But these young players that are given a lot of money, a lot of accolades, win a lot of things and are lauded, I do think it's kind of hard for them to not become arrogant and get a little bit big-headed because it's kind of human nature a little bit. I know you get people who aren't like that naturally, but I think even the most humble of person will kind of struggle to not let it get to their head a bit if they get that much accolades that quickly at that young of an age. And I just think he's got a bit complacent and arrogant, bro. Like, I think he just thinks, I just let this wand of a right foot do all the work. That's why he's like, don't need to run. I'll just pass. I don't need to trap back. I'm the, you know what I mean? Like, I'm the shit almost. And I don't really know how you stop it.
You drop him. Or you bring in someone who genuinely competes with him.
Yeah, that probably is the only way. But then he might throw his toes out the pram and want to leave. I don't know. It's a tough one, bro. It's a very tough one. Like, this is what happens when young people are bigged up and win everything, you know? I mean, you could even... I've said it before, bro. I don't even know how much hunger's left in the whole team. I do think it's a little unfair to always point out one or two. I'm looking at them all at the moment and just thinking, are they too deflated from always being the bridesmaid? Or have we never really regained our hunger after we won everything? I try and figure out which one of the two is it. Or is it a mixture of the two?
I genuinely don't think the hunger's gone drift, but what I will say is, and again, I have to use Man City because they're our main competitors and have been over the last few years. Barring, and I won't use goalkeepers because every team has a number one goalkeeper effectively. But barring De Bruyne, there's not another player in the Man City team that can sit there and say, I walk in no matter what, is there?
Haaland will probably become that, but yeah.
I'm talking about right now. Maybe you could argue Rodri as well. But Rodri's built himself up to that recently.
Yeah. Edison.
No, excluding goalkeepers, because we could do that with any goalkeeper.
Oh, okay. Cancelo, I guess. He kind of knows he's not getting dropped.
No, but brother, if Cancelo has a bad run, Walker comes in. They've got
No, but remember,
back.
Walker plays, remember?
No, but he was playing left back, but now they've got a left back. That ain't the case now. Whereas
We'll have to see if Gomez does well. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Trent, he knows he's playing next game pretty much no matter what, right? Virgil knows he's playing next game no matter what, really. Robbo, the same, in my opinion. Salah. Diaz now. It was Mane before on the left wing. Diaz now. That's 5 too many, in my opinion. And I'm not saying you want it to be a culture where no one knows if they'll ever get a game, but I want there to be a bit of needle and a little bit of competitiveness that they look around and they go, you know what? Yeah, I can have a bad game, but you know what? I can't have a second bad game in a row because I ain't going to be in a team. I'm not saying every player can have a bad game. Every single player. R9's had bad games. Messi's had bad games. But when do you really see those players in bad form and still start every game no matter what? And I think that's the issue we've got. We have numbers, but we don't have competition in enough positions. And we don't have a manager who's ruthless enough with it. You see, and again, now we're in a sticky situation with centre-backs, but if all of our centre-backs are fit and Virgil's playing how he's playing, for me, Virgil sits on the bench for someone else. Even if we lose the next game, I'll take that on the chin because you know why? It sets an example. But no matter what, Virgil's playing. And for me, that's an issue.
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. It's a tough one. Yeah. I mean, I wanted to obviously apologies at the beginning again, I was having mad technical difficulties. So I wanted to say this before we started. So let me just quickly do this, and then maybe we can do the supers before we bring in the next one. But I want to just read out some of Klopp's quotes. And this is what I was saying, bro, when I was saying, it's not that I think you're wrong. I just don't think Klopp is being honest because he's so frustrated. So listen to what he said today, bro. He said, as you can imagine, we are working.
Before you read it, I want to caveat this. I'm not going to go back and forth with you, not because I'm disagreeing with you or agreeing. I'm just tired of it now. I'm not even, and I really hope that don't come across rude to you, Drift. But I'm just
no. I don't take that.
But I'm tired of it. And then what I also don't, I keep on seeing I've stopped reading comments now in the last few weeks because all it is Callum's just disagreeing with Drift for the sake of it. And Callum hates Klopp or Drifty hates FSG, and I'm done with it. I'm so over this. I'm so annoyed with Klopp, Ward, FSG. I'm just done speaking about them at the moment. If they were my kids, they'd all be facing the wall.
Annoyed.
If they were my kids, they'd all be facing the wall for a long period of time. So yeah, but go on. Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, no, cool. So just to quote what he said today, yeah. As you can imagine, we are working constantly on these kind of things. But there are reasons sometimes why it doesn't happen. He then goes on to say, then the situation changes. But one thing that stays really important is that it needs to be the right player. We are working, but we will see. If something will happen or not, I don't know. That does not sound like the same man that a week or two ago was saying, my score's great, rare. It's like there's so many mixed signals coming out of Liverpool right now. As you said, it's just getting jarring now. It really is just getting jarring. I don't think they're being honest with us. I don't think they're being transparent with injuries. Genuinely, bro, I just think we've kind of gone from one team that was almost impeccable in everything we did to kind of being left behind a little bit now, because at some point money will always end up winning. And I think you can tell by teams that are catching up. And again, not to be shady, let's just be real. Arsenal, Tottenham, Newcastle, bro, these teams are catching up. And I'm not going to lie, I don't mean any disrespect. It's not coaching ability, so to speak. It's not, they're just spending money and improving their squads, bro. Arteta and Eddie Howe aren't even can't even like the comparison to Klopp couldn't even be a thing.
Injuries, though, Drew. Injuries.
Yeah, but bro, let's be real. Even though injuries are playing a part right now, if we continue the way we are, I don't think it's far-fetched to say give it 2 years max or 2 years minimum, and Newcastle, Tottenham, and Arsenal could be above us. Because the way we operate is just outdated now. Like it worked, it got us here, but it's not sustainable. And I think the fan base has known this for about maybe 2 years or more. Like it's not sustainable. Eventually, spending money wins. If you go through all of the most successful teams in the world over the last 30, 40 years, whatever it may be, I would say a good 75% of the time, the team that wins is the team that spends the most money. Like more often than not, money wins. Just in life.
Can I ask you 2 questions? First question, do you think that his mind has only changed because of the injuries and that he was genuinely happy, but injuries have changed things now, so he has to act? Second question, he keeps on alluding to the right player. If it is Bellingham, who it seems as though it's the worst kept football in secret at the moment, if it is Bellingham and we can't get him this summer, I ask, what else can we do if Klopp's not willing to budge, bro?
All right, so on the right player thing, I know Klopp does like a perfect player in terms of like attitude and ability. And I think he's proven why, because we've had such a brilliantly well, knit together squad for such a long time with good mentality. So I agree it has to be the right player in that respect. And I do think that that's a good thing. But at the same time, bro, I just think this whole right player thing is just always down to a combination of that, the mentality part, and we ain't got no money. So we've always got to make sure that we don't make a mistake. I think we're always trying to hit the bullseye. Do you know what I mean? Because the team has no flexibility on there being a flop. Do you know what I mean? Like the way we operate, we just can't have a dud. And I think if you're operating in a way where you've got to be so perfect all the time, bro, A, the pressure is immense. And B, it's always going to come to an end at some point because you can't just keep hitting the bullseye all the time. Do you know what I mean? Like at some point, you're just going to hit a little 5 or a 1 or something. Do you know what I mean? You're not always just going to hit the bullseye every time. So I think it's that, bro. I think we just keep always trying to make everything so perfect because we're on such a stringent budget that we're like afraid to pull the trigger. You know what I mean? Like, and again, I know analogies are getting a bit boring now, but if you and me both go out and you've got £1,000 in your pocket and I've only got £30 in my pocket and we go to a bar, you can afford, if the bartender goes, we've got a new cocktail, you can be like, you know what? Let me try that. Bro, I've only got £30. No. Can I have a Hennessy, please? Because I need to know my drink's going to bang. I can't take a risk, bro. I can't go, and I've just got to ask you how it was. Do you know what I mean? Like, how was it, bro? Was it good, yeah? Was it as good as the bartender cracked it up to be? You can play around. You got money tonight. I don't. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's what Liverpool are. Liverpool, the guy in the bar that's on a budget, he's just got to buy the drink he knows. He can't experiment. He can't take a risk. He can't buy a girl a drink. He's going home single and he's got, you know what I mean? That is what it is, bro. So we can't just keep being that guy. Like the owners have to change to a degree where Klopp can go, well, you know what? I think Bellingham does suit the system way better than most. But all right, come on in. Fuck it. Let's go and buy Matthias Nunes. Let's do it, innit? And you know what? We can always just go again. Just like Pep got to do with Bravo. Didn't work, just went and got Edison. We can't do that shit. If that was us, Bravo would have been in goal for about 4 years.
But Man City's a bad example to use, though, Drift, because we know what goes on there.
Yeah, I agree. But do you know what I mean? I think we're still that. Even if Man City's a bad example, we're still that. Bravo's playing for Liverpool for a good 3-4 years. All right, Chelsea. I know obviously Abramovich was almost like Man City, but Kepa came in, 77 million. Within about 18 months, they realized he's not really good enough. He's on their bench, bro. He's their back. Liverpool would never, ever have a £77 million goalkeeper as number 2. Not on your Nelly, bruv. Never, ever, bruv.
I agree, but is that not a good thing at the same time? Like, and again, I'm just asking questions for anyone starts calling me an FSG in or an FSG apologist. Isn't that a good thing that we don't just have a scattergun approach? Because look at Chelsea now. Look how many players they've got that they need to get rid of. Whereas we're not in that position effectively. Man City are an outlier because they've got a cheat code. Man United, look how many players that they've got on their books that they need to get rid of. Arsenal, up until recently, you'd argue, had so many players on their books they need to get rid of. So again, you know my stance on FSG, where I stand on them. But I don't like the scattergun approach either. And when Klopp comes out and says, I'd rather find internal solutions than just going out and get any player, especially when I'm also hearing that Ward has been on him saying, let's move away from this target and let's get these in because this will give us success now. Then as much as I hold FSG accountable, as much as I hold Ward accountable, I've got to have the same energy for Klopp as well, because I don't think it's one entity in this situation. I think it's all three of them. I think it's Klopp, Ward, and FSG that are holding us back at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we do a scattergun or it's good to have £70 million sitting on your bench. No, I agree with you and a few people in the comments who were saying like it's not a bad thing, Drift, that we don't do that. No, I agree with that. I wouldn't just want us to just go around wasting money. Of course not. But if you've got a man in charge like Klopp who pretty much knows what he's doing for 90% of the time, I think you can give him room to have the odd failure. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think you can. The only failure in our whole squad, and I'm not doing this to be shady, I'm just in, is Naby Keita, because he was a very expensive signing and he hasn't been good enough. He's the only flop. But look how much we've still kind of had to be forced to stick with it. Because I think we can all say, giving him a chance, yes. I'm not going to say that's a bad thing to do. I agree with giving people chances in life. But Naby Keita is in his 5th year at Liverpool now. He's had 4 seasons at Liverpool, and only one of them was even remotely good, and that was last season. Like, no other top-level club would have put up with his level of injuries and performances anywhere near this long. But we have to. Do you know what I mean, bruv? Like, we have to, because we're just not allowed to do anything but that based on how our model is. And that's why I'm saying, don't be scattergun, don't be stupid, don't be over the top, but let Klopp be allowed to express himself a bit more. And I think he will. It can't just always be this transfer has to bang. It has to bang. Like, there's no room for failure here. Otherwise, the budget is screwed up. Because that's what I believe we are. And I think if you look at the way Arsenal and Tottenham have operated, Tottenham have got £1 billion stadium they're trying to pay off, and they've still moved well in the transfer market for the last 2 years. And Arsenal haven't been in the Champions League for 5 years, and their owners are notoriously known for being tighter than ours, or just as bad. And even they are like, this ain't working. And now they spend a lot of money. And I'm looking at them too, and I'm like, why are Liverpool standing still? What are we doing? Like, you can't let, and I don't mean it with any disrespect, you can't let the okay teams do that. And we're supposed to be one of the elite teams, and we're just twiddling our thumbs. I don't know, man. It's baffling, Cal. Like you said, I just can't be asked of it anymore.
I don't think it's baffling, Drift. I think that element of the argument is they're too risk averse. Tottenham have taken a massive risk because, remember, they've got £1 billion debt, but they've also taken out a loan, which is allowing them to do these transfers. Here's the thing. This is why I respect Tottenham, but this is where I see the other side as well. If Tottenham get top 4, the risk pays off. If they don't get top 4, it could set them back a long time. Same with Arsenal. The risk is there. You see how much they've spent. They don't get top 4. It could set them back again. So again, I rate the risk, but that's something our owners don't do. They are not risk people. We've seen that, and that's my issue. That's my issue.
That's the problem. Scared money don't make money, bro.
So I tell you why it's even more of a problem I have with FSG, that they're so risk averse, because you've got a Klopp. If you had an Arteta, no disrespect, if you had an Arteta or a Brendan Rodgers, we saw it, Brendan Rodgers, I'd understand not wanting to take as much of a risk. But when you got a Jurgen Klopp sitting there, you take the risk. And I'm not saying it has to be for every season. You take the risk now and again. 100%. 100%. But at the same time, Drift, if Klopp's sitting there saying, I don't want Matthias Nunes, I don't want Paqueta, I don't want Basuma, I don't want all these people, I only want Jude Bellingham, and they go, we can't get him this season, and he goes, fine, I'll sort it out, but I want him next summer, then I have a problem with Klopp as well.
If that's what Klopp is saying, he needs his head banged against the wall.
No, but it's all of them, Drift. It's all of them. That's what I'm saying.
But I don't believe Klopp's doing that. I don't.
No, bro, I wouldn't be surprised. But that's why I say it's all of them. Klopp's stubbornness is a problem. FSG being risk averse, and Ward not being able to get rid of players at a good rate as well, or at the right time. So that's really why I can't separate and say it's last summer. And the January before, that's FSG. That's all FSG. Now it's all three of them. But look, I don't want to take too much time because we've got the callers in the background.
Yeah.
And I get the next caller on, and then we'll do some supers. Shout out to John, aka Glasgow Red Chats. John, you there, brother?
Big up, guys.
What's going on, bro?
You all right, John?
I take the win. Cal.
Yeah, you win. I'm good. Not good now.
I'm not gonna lie, that's a beautiful kit, man.
All right, Jiff, bro.
It is. I'm getting them Johnny Barnesy vibes, man.
All right, Jiff. Let's not start. You win, John. You win.
What's wrong with Cal?
Nah, I thought I was gonna win this week. I'm not gonna lie.
I know you did.
Do you know what's mad, Cal? Yeah, I've got that kit as well, obviously, as you know. I don't like it, though, you know.
The one I'm wearing?
Yeah, I don't really like it. That was the last season we had before Owen left, wasn't it?
Miss me out, Drew.
I don't know, man. I'm not really a fan. I've got it, bruv. I've got the kit. I don't know. I'm not really a fan of it.
This was the season. Owen made his
debut. You're drinking me went your head. That is a gorgeous kit.
Thank you, John. This kit is beautiful, bro.
No, I don't know.
Look. I can do this. I can do this. The people aren't. I can do this. I'm a transformer, bro. I'm a transformer in this. This kit, but John wins tonight. Still, he wins tonight.
Drifty, you need to hit it down, mate. That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, maybe I'm alone, but I don't know. I'm just not the biggest fan of it, man. I don't know.
Nah.
Right.
No,
what you got tonight, brother?
As always, guys, FSG. What are we going to do here? Klopp is clearly come out and said he wants to sign a midfielder. Clear as day. And we're still sitting on our hands waiting for a midfielder to come in the door. If we don't get a midfielder in the door very, very soon, this could go real bad for us very quick. We can't rely. I seen talk today that Naby may be getting a new contract. You can't give Naby a new contract. He's never on the fucking pitch. He spends more time on the NHS waiting list than on the pitch. It's absolutely ridiculous. What are we going to see next? Chamberlain getting a contract?
Flipping no. You know what? You wouldn't even put it past. You actually wouldn't.
That's why I wouldn't put it past him. I really wouldn't. The FSG need to get their hands on their pocket. If Klopp is calling for a midfielder, then back your manager. If not, then I'm sorry. Put the club up for sale and fuck off. Thank you very much. But time to go. You can't. I don't think you can take us any further. They can't take us next level. I've said before, we've now got Chelsea, we've got Man United, we've got City, we've got Newcastle. We can't compete with them teams. That way, FSG on the books, we can't. It's simple as that. But going into the Mars game, I don't know what you guys feel. I'm really scared about the Mars game. Generally scared. There's something telling me we could drop points tomorrow.
Oh, John.
But I'll give you my guys' lineup. I don't know what you think about it. I would go with Ali in goal. Gomez right back. Nat Phillips alongside Van Dijk. I would give Simicas at left back. I would go Fab, Hendo, Elliott. I would go Diaz, Salah, and Carvalho. We need to tighten up. We need to tighten the defence up. And Trent at the minute is not good enough at defence. We need to tighten the defence. If we don't, we could be in trouble. And also, Gomez can do a job going forward as well. Don't be wrong. We've seen it last season. Gomez done very well going forward.
But Carvalho down the middle, you said, yeah?
No, Salah down the middle.
Oh, so Carvalho on the right or the left?
No, you're playing Elliott. No.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said Carvalho.
No, you're playing Carvalho in the middle, right? You've got Salah, Diaz, Elliott.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant Carvalho in the middle, as in like false nine. Okay. I'm with you.
I think that could be a team. It's more attacking team. Plus the defense is a lot stronger. Let's put it this way: if Nat Phillips was playing last weekend, Nat Phillips would have put his head through that ball.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
Van Dijk just stood still like a dummy.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Every time I watch that back, I just want to grip man's ponytail, bro.
I would have hooked him. I genuinely would have hooked him putting that Phillips on. That's probably his worst ever given a Liverpool shirt.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Johnny,
we'll chop that up now, John.
I'm not gonna lie. You came in there and dropped a couple bombs, bro. But you're a legend.
Tomorrow, I'm not confident whatsoever. Unless we tighten defense up, I'm not confident.
Yeah.
And all this talk about clap out, that needs to stop.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
People need to get their head shake. We're talking about a manager delivered the first Premier League trophy in 30 years.
Yeah.
A Champions League. He's won every single domestic trophy he can win. So to say clap out is give your head shake. It's not clap, it's FSG. That's been proven in the past.
I agree, man.
So,
bro, we chop that up now, man. Big up as always, bro.
As always, guys, big up, respect.
Big up, man. Love you. Big up. Cal.
I did my preview earlier with Sam from the Back of the Net AFC Bournemouth podcast. What would your starting 11 be for tomorrow, bro?
I just like to start by saying I don't think we're going to beat Bournemouth.
I
would go. Ali in goal. Phillips and Van Dijk. Gomez at right back. Robbo at left back. Flacco.
Sorry, KG in the comments is having a good little time, you know. Pivot.
If there's anybody that we know that's going to start falling down the league, it's Leeds. So let KG have his fun now, isn't it?
Big up KG, man.
I'd go Flacco, Carvalho, Elliott, and then I would go Diaz, Mo.
Sorry, say your midfield again. Sorry, Drift, please.
Flacco, Elliott, Carvalho.
Okay.
And then I would go Bobby, down the middle reluctantly because there's just nobody else, and Diaz and Salah. I want fresh legs running around in midfield. I want more attacking impetus in midfield, which I think Elliott and Carvalho will both do. And I think then you've got the experienced heads to bring on if we do get a lead to make sure we can maintain it in Milner and Henderson. And the only reason I'm starting Robbo over Tsimikas is because I watched Robbo's interview the other day, and I do believe that mentally he's got what we need to try and change this around, because I know Robbo's one person who's never, ever going to let standards fall. Even if his performances drop, because that's natural, I know mentally he will never let standards drop. If you want to play Tsimikas instead of him, fair enough. But I think one more game of Robbo, because after the interview, and I thought to myself as well, Robbo's got the kahunas. He's always the one who comes out when we lose and talks. And there's not many you do, you know. Milner and Robbo were the two I have so much respect for, because whenever we lose, they are always up for coming out and facing the press and just taking all the heat that's going to come their way. And I respect that. So yeah, that's why I'll do that. And I think for defensive solidity, I'm going Gomez at right back. He's proved he can attack as well, but I'm going for that solidity. I think it's time for our defense to actually be defenders and do what we're supposed to do and create the base for us to be able to go and attack. We haven't scored the first goal for 9 league games, Cal. I think it said. Yeah. And we won a lot of those games, but we've let the opposition score first for like 9 games in a row or something like that. But what the fuck is that all about, bruv? Like, what is that all about? I think we need to get back to defending and the basics of defending. And if I'm being honest with you as well, this is why I've got a problem with Pep Linders and Klopp with the tactics. I've been saying it for years. And I know we even used to go back and forward on it. This high line shit, it needs to fucking stop. We cannot have clear-cut opportunities from every single team we play against. It doesn't matter who it is. But that's why I think Bournemouth can score a goal or we might not win tomorrow. Because I know we are going to give up 1, 2, 3, 4 chances. I know we are. And if they're clinical on the day, we're fucked. Elanga hit the post and the alarm bell should have been ringing in that Man United game. And we didn't give 2 fucks and we played exactly the same way. And we let Five Haag switch it up, put Rashford into a more central thing, brought on Martial to literally exploit the high line he was watching for the whole first half, and it worked again. And then they got their goal from it. He had Rashford down the middle. It weren't working. He said, I'm going to exploit the space down the left. He put Rashford on the left, and it fucking worked, Cal. The most basic of tactics worked. He didn't have to be no genius. He wasn't no Ancelotti or no Mourinho in his prime. He's just Five Haag. And he went, look at that space down the left, down there, right, down our left. And just put Rashford there to exploit it. And he did it with ease, bro, with absolute ease. When are we just going to get back to defending, basic defending? Throw your body in the way. I never thought I'd live in a world where I was going to say, I think Nat Phillips defends better than Van Dijk in that situation. I never thought... I never thought I'd ever say that.
Right, there's a lot to unpack there, Jifty. I'm not going to lie, bro. All right, so I do think we'll win tomorrow, but I don't think it'll be pretty. I wouldn't go with Elliott and Carvalho in midfield simply because I think we'll get overrun from a defensive standpoint. But what I would do is I would start both of them tomorrow. I would go Flacco in the 6. I'd go Elliott on the right-hand side of midfield. Allow me people in the comments, but I'd go Milner on the left-hand side of midfield. I'd go Carvalho left wing, Diaz through the middle, and Salah from the right. Something's got... I love Bobby Firmino. He can't play tomorrow. Not against the low block. He can't start the game.
Well, here's the thing, Cal. Even though I completely
Sorry,
understand
let me
what
just
you're saying.
Klopp, please, anyone, if you're listening, if anyone who's got direct contact to Liverpool Football Club is listening, the false nine with Bobby Firmino does not work against the low block. Please, Jurgen, please, please, please don't do it.
Peter, make me come out I rain. Peter, come out I rain. You know, see it get bad. Peter, we have a blood clot. Peter, you're nearly dead.
Oh, man.
Oh, Mino, come out of the rain.
Bobby, come out of the rain.
Blood clot, Bobby, you're nearly dead.
Yeah, that's just
oh
me.
Man, bro, no, you're right. You're so right. But bro, the reason why I believe that Carvalho and Elliott would be good in midfield, yeah, even though I know exactly what you're saying defensively, it would just leave Flacco on his own. But bro, if Bournemouth at Anfield isn't a game where you just rough them up, bro, like they shouldn't even have enough of the ball for us to even worry about defending. Do you know what I mean, Cal? Like, I don't even want to be disrespectful. This is Bournemouth at Anfield, bro. We should be all over them. All over them. If you include Diaz and Salah in that whole thing of like just those guys just attacking Bournemouth all the time, they shouldn't be able to get a breather. Like, there shouldn't even be a way for them to even do anything to us. It should just be, all right, you're at Anfield. Let's go back to showing you Anfield is a fortress and just bad them up. It's Bournemouth. How can I be in the Bournemouth well, we're not in the preview, but you know what I mean? I'm thinking, are we going to win this game? Anfield, Bournemouth, and I don't even think we're going to win the game. What is going on?
All right, let's get the next caller in.
Jesus.
Chainsaw.
Yo, I was gonna say I was liking the fact that Monday's result wasn't talked about, so we all moved on from that, and we talked about TV shows, boxing, and so forth. So I've got two non-footballing questions and obviously two footballing questions. The first one is: have you guys seen The Boys by any chance?
Yes.
Yes, you've seen.
I'm only halfway through season 2.
Okay,
which I know is criminal because I'm the one who told these lot to watch it.
It's so good. So my question with The Boys is, out of the 7 in our squad, you have to pick a 7, so the best 7 in our squad. Who would it be?
Sick question.
Are Liverpool's version of the 7 of this current squad, and then obviously there's Better Call Saul. You know, that was amazing, and there's the House of Dragons. So there are TV shows to watch during this turbulent time as a Liverpool fan to avoid, you know. Also, Callum, I've got a question for you. Do you think the state of boxing has got declined massively? Because there's YouTubers that are having boxing fights right now, and some of those YouTubers and influencers literally can't last a whole round. They start breathing heavily. They're not fully trained. They don't take it serious. On top of that, all the shenanigans that goes around with their event, and plus AJ having that meltdown and disrespecting his opponent on the stage, is boxing having a massive decline? Because professionally, or the highest level, it's a bit of a joke. And then with this YouTube event, it's even more of a joke. So where does boxing go in the near future? Let's say 5 years. And my two footballing questions. One's a quick one. Steven Gerrard, what's happening to him? Callum, you might want to close your ears. You might want to close your ears for this one. But Stevie G,
I'll flip the book over as well. Go on.
Yeah, make sure the book's not listening. Stevie G can't be our next manager. This man's about to get sacked by Aston Villa, and his sheer arrogance is like Klopp, but without any substance. Unfortunately, the guy thinks too much of himself. He's a legend. Don't forget that player, he's a legend. But as a manager, there's big question marks. And I don't think he's fit for the Liverpool job because he's going to get sacked. Under FSG, Stevie G ain't lasting a whole month, let alone a few years. So that's Stevie G. And then the Klopp thing, because I got 30 seconds. Klopp versus Pep, the mentality is completely different. We had 63 games, so our players are injured. We reduced the squad size, and that's physical demand last season, 63 games. Then we fail the Champions League. We fail the Premier League, right? But we have a parade for the League Cup and FA Cup. Pep Guardiola would not do a parade for that League Cup and FA Cup. But Jurgen Klopp would say, let's all celebrate. Let's look at the other side of things. Where's the mentality? These players are celebrating failure, basically. Klopp would celebrate an almost quad, and Pep would berate his players for not getting the quad or getting a treble. That's the difference between. But just because my time is up, I just want to say, Klopp is going to turn this around. We should be positive. Stick with the players, support the players, and just play Bobby as a 10, not a 9. Just support the players, support the manager. But Klopp, please, act elite, because you're elite. He doesn't act elite sometimes, in my opinion. And the players are tired physically. So we need, and all Liverpool fans agree, we need signings. That is something we all agree. Big up to Kopish, big up to Kall-in,
big up yourself,
Drifty, and
Yeah,
Matt,
big up,
and
bro.
the chat as well.
Big up, man. We'll chop that up now, man. Big up, G.
I just get Gerrard one out of the way, and then we can have some fun with the other questions.
Yeah. I remember I said that I didn't ever want Stevie to be Liverpool manager because of the pressure anyway. I don't know about that Aston Villa job. You know, sometimes you do have to look at the club itself sometimes as well. And I know obviously you do have to blame Stevie's tactics and that, but I don't quite know how many managers really have been successful for Villa, even though they do spend a lot of money all the time. So I'm thinking, is it a bit of both with Villa? I don't know, because even Dean Smith, who done brilliant to get them up, and then like it just went wrong all of a sudden. I don't know. I'm trying to look at both because I'm never going to ignore what Stevie did at Rangers. It was unbelievable. So I'm not going to say he's a crap manager, but yeah, he's not ready to be Liverpool manager. And I don't want him to be. It's too much pressure, man.
Gerrard's not ready to be Liverpool manager right now. I'd like to see how he develops over the next 2 years. If it's not Gerrard next, then Graham Potter's the one I want.
Fair dues.
And I've been saying, I've been talking about Graham Potter before it's fashionable, before anyone says I'm jumping on a bandwagon. Graham's my guy. The boxing scene. Boxing, there has been a decline in boxing, but I think that's because of the rise in other sports such as MMA. Think about it, all those MMA fighters, if there was no MMA or MMA wasn't prevalent, they'd probably go into boxing. So no, I'm not saying all of them would have been sick at boxing, but you'd have had a few that would have added to the talent and the quality and quantity. So I think that's one aspect. I personally don't have a problem with the YouTube boxing stuff. Personally, I actually think it actually helps boxing to stay relevant and to grow. But the two need to be kept separate. You have YouTube boxing and you have professional boxing. They have to be kept separate. And if a YouTuber wants to become a professional, then you're a professional boxer now. You fight other professionals. You don't flip-flop. You're either in one pool or you're in the other. So that's where I stand on it. I don't know about you, Drew.
I definitely see what you mean.
It becomes dangerous.
Yeah, you see with the YouTube thing, I'm never against people getting the bag, and that's all that is. So even though I do think it's stupid, I rate it. I know. I don't know if that sounds like a contradiction, but I do rate it as much as I think it's stupid because I'm all about people winning. So
it's not even that for me, Drift. Let's say, for example, I don't know, I had a massive argument with another YouTuber, and we just couldn't settle it verbally. I don't see a problem with us going in there having a legal, sanctioned, under, watchful eyes of professionals, have a scrap and we leave it there rather than I go, yeah, let's meet up at so-and-so. Yeah, we've got to have it out next time we see each other. It's on site. So I think there is a space for it.
I think Jake Paul's really the only one who's tried to make it into professional situation. I think everyone else kind of knows they are just YouTube boxers. Yeah. He's the only one really. It's just because he's the biggest name That's probably what makes it feel like it's a thing. I mean, he's doing well on the promotion side as well. Got to rate that. Like, if you look at what he's done for female boxing, it's brilliant. So on that front, I kind of, like I said, I don't mind people getting to the bag. But with actual boxing, though, brother, if I'm being completely honest with you, I don't know if it's nostalgia, but I don't think boxing has any real quality, because now I think everyone just wants to chase the money. And I'm not saying there aren't good fighters. Of course there's good fighters. But how deep do all the divisions go like they did back in the day? That's kind of where I think maybe my feeling is. I think the welterweight division over the last 15 years has been exceptional. But other than the welterweight division, I don't really think boxing has had any really deep divisions where, as UFC has come up, where you're like, anyone in the top 10 in UFC, you just think, oh, what a fight. Like, pretty much, you're like, what a fight. It doesn't matter what weight class it is. You put anybody in the top 10 or even in the top 7, and you're like, what a fight. In boxing, I don't feel like that, Cal. I really don't. And we were just excited to see Fury fight Wilder, because for once, big boys were fighting, because that's how starved we get of, like, big fights in boxing. There's too many belts in boxing. There's too many... Oh, you know what I mean? There's just too many politics in boxing, man. Like, how can there be like 8 belts or something like that per division? It's too much, Cal, man. You know what I mean? Like, I want it to be like a WWE thing, man. There needs to be an intercontinental belt and then a world belt, bruv. That's it, bruv. It is 2 belts. Like, you're either second to best or you're the best, bruv. Like, what's all of this? Like, what's that belt Eubank had, Cal? Is that the 6th best belt or something like that? What was that belt, bruv? Like, it's like, how can you call yourself a champion with that, bruv? I see man them holding, you know, the Commonwealth belts and all them little belts there, and it's like, all right, you do need belts on the come up, but I don't know, man. There's too many belts, bro, in boxing. There's just too many belts, too much politics. Yeah, man, I don't know. Let the best fight the best, man. Stop worrying about money. Everything in boxing is about money now, man.
Yeah.
Don't you want to be great? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
I don't know. That's my opinion anyway.
I agree. The boys. Who's your top 7 Liverpool players?
Ali, Mo, Virgil.
I'm just gonna hold this up so I'm not looking like I'm copying you, but I've written mine down. Go on.
Okay. Ali, Trent, Virgil, Flacco, Mo, Diaz.
That was 6.
Oh, was that not 7? Hold on. Ali, Trent, Virgil, Flacco, Salah. Oh, yeah. Diaz. Fucking hell. Is this how dead we are now? I don't even know who to make 7th.
You're forgetting about a man still.
Thiago.
Yes.
You know what? That's how much he doesn't play. I forgot about my own boy.
All right, so I don't know if you can see that. So I've got Ali, Trent, VVD, Fab, Salah. Instead of Diaz, I've got Matip and Thiago.
Wow, we almost picked exactly the same. That's nuts.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
And then the last question, the mentality. Pep and Klopp. You've said this a few times, I think, Drift. I didn't actually, in the end, I actually didn't have a problem with the parade. I still don't actually. But I don't know. I don't know. What's your thoughts? Because I'm 50-50 on it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Massively enjoyed it. Because I'm a Liverpool
sorry, not
fan.
the parade. I'm talking about the mentality between Klopp and Pep in terms of.
I thought you talked about the parade, because I was gonna say, like, I enjoyed the parade. Yeah. I massively enjoyed the parade. But that's in hindsight. I'd have never had that parade. You know, I said that, but I would have never had that parade. Yeah. The moment we lost the Champions League final, I'd have cancelled the parade. But in hindsight, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, it was so amazing to watch everybody come together. Pep and Klopp, yeah, they're not winners in that way. They're winners because they're great at what they do. I am slowly starting to believe they're not winners because they're just driven by winning. And I don't even think it's necessarily a good thing, because sometimes you can kill yourself trying to get the W. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't think Guardiola sleeps, and that's not good for your health, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it just ain't. So I like the fact that Klopp has that bit more relaxed attitude to life, that he enjoys life, because at the same time you have to enjoy life. And that part, I fully get where Klopp's coming from, because like, you only get one life and you have to live it, and it is about trying to be as stress-free as possible. So I can respect it, but in the context of what we're talking about, I have to admit Klopp isn't anywhere near on a Mourinho or a Guardiola level of like that will to need to win. Like, I don't give a shit what I have to do. I'm winning. He don't have that in him. He don't. And maybe that's why people love him more, because I think when you're like Guardiola and Pep, you fall out with people much easier and a lot more frequently. But yeah, I guess it depends which one you like, innit?
Yeah. Fair point. I'm going to bring on Jamal. Jamal, can you hear us, brother? You're on mute, bro. All right, I'll come back to Jamal. Man like Mark A. Mark, you there, bro?
Oh, shit. Maybe we should do the supers. They don't even know they're going to get brought in.
I'll do Chris. Chris, you ready, Chris?
What's going?
Yeah.
There we go. You're right, Chris.
Football season has returned.
What's going on, man?
Yeah, no, bro. I was just about to mute. I was like,
it's so nice. I was scrambling.
Nah, man. What's going on with you guys, man? You good?
Yeah, what's good, man? What's good?
Hey, man. Now, I had a rough week, but because of the game and stuff like that, I'm in California, so the time difference and stuff like that. So, it came out good because today I got promoted at my job and stuff like that. So it's good and stuff.
Hey,
but we'll touch on my job later because it's kind of related to the topic I want to talk about. But you guys are talking about like movies, and it kind of got me thinking. Like the classic Jackie Chan with Rumble in the Bronx, because I'm from New York and stuff like that's a classic right there and stuff like that. If you want to go like way back into like kung fu movies, like Five Deadly Venoms. I don't know if y'all seen that before and stuff like that. That's an old movie.
I haven't seen that,
Five Deadly Venoms, that's a classic. That's like, I wasn't even born yet. I think it came out and stuff like that.
Okay, I haven't seen that, man.
So I want to talk about. I appreciate that. Thank you, man.
Yeah, you're getting some love in the chat, man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that.
Yeah, congrats, man.
So I want to talk about the 5 players that are leaving. Love, man. The 5 players that are leaving next summer, based like as of right now, there's 5 players leaving. Yeah. So Adrian, I know people don't really like him, but he did contribute to us winning the league that year, and he did win us our Super Cup and our Community Shield and stuff like that. And from what I know from like reporting Colombia and stuff like that, like he's a big vibe for like helping Lucho get like accustomed to like the culture in Liverpool and stuff like that. So that's a vibe that we have to replace and stuff like that. So I don't know what's gonna happen there. Bobby Firmino and stuff like that, I don't believe he deserves a new contract. And I know that might kind of rub people the wrong way and stuff like that, but we kind of have to like move forward and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because this will be technically his last contract, so he's gonna want some money and stuff like that. Yeah, but I do deserve that. I do believe he deserves to kind of like at the end of the season be walked off and celebrated by the fans because he's given us everything. You know what I mean? Like, the reason why I fell in love with him is because he has that South American gene where he runs and he runs and he presses and he runs, and it's something us South American players have. Like we're an engine and stuff like that, and he's given us all and stuff. So that's a player. Who else is leaving? And Naby, but that's a different conversation. That's like later on and stuff. But there's another player leaving. Milner, Ox, also Milner and stuff like that. That's the thing too. I know you're into like the whole like quotas and like the English quotas. So if we let Milner and Ox leave, don't we have to replace him with English players? And I don't think
homegrown.
Homegrown players and stuff, because I don't think people really talk about that. They want to sell these players, but they're not talking about, well, we're letting 2 English players leave. Don't we have to replace them with 2 English players, or at least one? Because we don't want to be put in a situation where we're promoting youth to kind of fill that quota, but then they're just holding the bench and not developing and stuff like that. So that's a question right there. And then talking about Ox and Naby, I know a lot of fans are in the bind with those 2 players, but I want to talk about the mental health of the game and stuff like that. And that's where I come with my promotion and stuff, because I work with veterans and stuff like that.
Okay, big up, man.
So I'm a physical therapist, so I deal with helping them get better in regards to like amputations and stuff like that, you know.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah, so you know, and I know we as a fan base have to do better in regards to the criticism we give to certain players, because there's a difference between telling someone you're shit and then telling them why they're shit, and we have to do more of why you're shit and stuff like that, because your channel is growing, and all it takes is for a Liverpool player to be on YouTube and watch you guys talking shit about him and not giving an explanation why. And at the end of the day, they're still Liverpool players and stuff like that. So the patients I deal with now, like just watching them having them recover by themselves mentally, like a mental wound lasts longer than a physical wound. And that's probably why Naby and Ox haven't developed or haven't contributed as much as we wanted them to. Mentally, they're probably their minds in the gutter and stuff like that. So that's kind of like what I want to talk about the mental side of the game, because, you know, as fans, we want to win, but we neglect the mental side of the game and social media and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like that contributes a lot. We're all human beings at the end of the day, and we're all fragile and stuff. And one more thing I want to talk about is Mbappe. Now, I've never disliked the player as much as I do now with Mbappe, and I don't want to talk about the whole Messi thing that he has. Well, I want to talk about the comments he had in regards to like the World Cup, how he kind of like belittled South American qualifiers. We're in a place in social media where pundits, players have so much power in regards to what they say and so much influence, and they don't have the facts. And Mbappe is loved by kids, and you're saying stupidity like South American qualifiers is whack, or I'm just saying it in my own words. He didn't really say that, but he's belittling South American qualifiers.
I didn't even know he did that, to be honest.
Yeah, he belittled it, pretty much saying like, no, he pretty much belittled it, and it's like, man, get your facts straight. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to like, and I'm not trying to say like Europeans are spoiled or anything like that, because I don't want to get into that. That's not what I'm trying to say. But it's like going to play a qualifier in Colombia where the humidity is like 5 minutes in the game, you're drenched in sweat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or even the facilities of South American football is not right. Like you could kick a ball and the ball won't move because the grass is not cut. You know what I mean? Or the corruption of South American. You know, my South Americans up there in the chat, like the corruption in South American football is ridiculous. You know what I mean? Or even going to like Quito, that's in Ecuador, or Bolivia, La Paz, the altitude where you have players playing 10 minutes and they're dropping because they can't breathe. And it's like I don't know. I just don't like that players of that power are saying stupidity, and people are going to pick up on that and believe it. You know what I mean? I have my son's starting football this week, and we were like watching because he chose the position. He's going to play a defender instead of center back. So hopefully it goes well for him. So I had him watching videos on defenders and stuff like that. And then that clip came up, an ESPN clip of him speaking that stuff. And my son comes to me and is like, yo, like, I'm a South American. My son is South American and Jamaican. So he's like, what is he trying to say? Like, he trying to say we suck or something? So it's like, like the power these players have and so much influence. And if I wasn't there to tell my son and explain to him what's really going on. You know what I mean? These kids, the mentality, it fucks up kids' mentality. You know what I mean? So that's all I wanted to say and stuff like that. But
no, big up, man.
Nothing but love for y'all and stuff like that. And
this is one of the best calls we've ever had on this channel.
Yeah, so
spoke some real stuff, man.
Yeah, so that's the other thing I wanted to say. And I wanted to say, yo, like, why doesn't Matt come up? He hasn't shown his face to me and shit like that. What's good with him? Whoa!
What's good, bro? What's good?
Yo, so what's good with you, man? You anti-Colombian? What's your deal?
Nah, bro. Not even at all, bro.
All right,
I'm here though.
Yo, Cal.
Yeah, let's go.
Don't Cal, just don't say nothing. All right, Cal. All right, Matt. What's the other Colombian player we have on the that Liverpool owns that's on loan right now? What's his name?
On loan?
Yeah, what's his name? Don't say nothing. The chat don't help him out.
Oh, I don't know, bro. That's a good question. I generally don't know.
You see, we love to talk about you never walk alone, bro. But mentally, bro, you got the player in the dungeon, bro. Mentally, bro, you don't even know what you're talking about, bro.
So hold on. Let me. So hold on. Yeah,
I'm just joking around, bro. You're not gonna.
Yeah, I know. Come on, I know this already. I've already spoken about it already, but no. My love as always. Yeah, go on, bro.
People on the WhatsApp, you know what I mean? Like, I'm drifting you out in Colombia, bro. Whenever you want to come, bro, we gonna show you Colombia, bro.
Hey, I'm down.
Because like, my people was like, you sus, kind of saying, Luis Diaz is your favorite player and shit like that. You talking mad shit. And Matt, you still gotta. And Matt is like flip flopping a lot. Like ever since I said what I said, he don't really be talking about Luis Diaz like that, like bad anymore and stuff. So he flip flopping and stuff. So,
oh really? Okay. No, but all jokes aside, though, Chris. What I was gonna say is, big up to all you guys.
But Matt, yeah. I do agree with you in your criticism of him because all he has to, for me, I watch him play, and all he has to do is just look up. Look up.
Yeah, facts.
Look up, man. That's all you got. You just look up and you'll see. Because some of the decisions he does, it just, I don't know. But anyway, that's another topic for another day. But nothing but love for all of y'all. And
love as always, bro.
Yeah, nah, big up, G, man.
But Chris, before you go, I ain't got no hit on me though, right? I ain't got no hit.
No.
Like,
you good for now, so I can't control the animal.
Oh, for now, bro. Okay.
Don't worry about it, bro. You good, bro. I got you.
Love. Love, bro. Love.
Big up, G.
Big up, man.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. That would be a beautiful holiday still.
Colombia,
right.
That'd be a beautiful holiday. Like that'd be serious, bro.
Yeah, do you know what though? Yeah, just touching back on what Chris was saying, because it's funny. I remember about maybe a year ago or so, I remember saying to you lot that exactly what Chris was saying, and obviously I know you lot agreed with me anyway, but it was why I kind of like, I don't mind criticizing a player, but then you might see me do a 360 on the thing, and it might be like, what's Drift doing? It'd be like, no, because I've seen it go too far now. I've seen it go from the point of like the criticism to now you're just being rude, and now you're just being disrespectful. Do you know what I mean? And that's why I changed around on Lovren. And then I started to look deeper into it, and I realized he's way better, and we don't give him credit when he does do well. And I started noticing positives. I switched it up on Diaz, on Bobby. I even said I'm not even going to have a go at Karius anymore, because I did think to myself, no, do you know what you do? You do see when there becomes a witch hunt after a player. Yeah. And you lot know I back Hendo till the day I die anyway. But it's like I go even harder now, because I'm like, you can see the witch hunt. You can actually tell when people are just like picking on a man, like, and they're just going hard, and it's like, it's just always his fault. You know what it's like? It gets to a point where you're like, it wasn't even his fault. Like he didn't even have the bad game, and it's like, so I get it. I do get it. I mean, it's hard sometimes to not, when you're in a rage, because I know it is a lot easier when you're not on camera to control yourself than it is, do you know what I mean, when you are. But yeah, I agree. It isn't about just going out of your way to just batter a man to the point where, you know, it's going to affect his self-esteem and all that.
Yeah,
give the criticism.
I do think criticism is fair. I've never, and I don't think I ever would, go onto a player's Instagram or Twitter or just start throwing it like that stuff.
Yeah, that's just some next level hooliganism. Like
that, to me, that is wild. Like even a game, you know, like if I go and watch a live game and like someone goes for a throw or a corner, and you look at the crowd and they're effing and blind that person. I'm like, what's going on? Like, for me, I can't get my head around that. Like, don't get me wrong, if someone miss kicks it, you all go, hey, or you boo someone, I get that's all for me. That's calm.
Facts.
If someone's going.
No, I disagree with the booing of your own player, though, Cal. I don't think you should never boo your own player. Even if he's playing badly, you should never boo your own player. You should never boo
your own player. 100%. I think where it crosses the line for me though is like, you see, like you said, like the whole, I don't know, man has a bad game or something, but then you go onto man's Instagram page and start like, because it starts getting personal. Because you can criticize someone in a footballing sense, but when people being personal about whoever that player is, I think now you're crossing the line. Because we're here to debate sports and talk sports. We're not here to speak about the people and what they do. Because half of the time we don't know what they do outside of football, so you can't really comment on them as people. You can only comment about them on the pitch, and I think that's where tribalism comes into play as well. I can't even lie; it just gets a bit much for me as well. Like there's a line you should never cross, in my opinion.
Even the whole like if someone walks over to get the ball for a throw in, I'm seeing people throwing up middle fingers and effing and blind. I'm like, is that really necessary? Like, even that stuff, like, to me, that's wild. That kind of is even worse, because you're actually being abusive to someone kind of for no reason.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand, you know, like that friendly kind of banter that will always come from like even like Sunday league level, where like a man might come over to take a corner, you're like, you shit, mate, you're gonna shank it. You know, something like that. And it's like, that's all part of the banter. Like, I don't have a problem with that. But you see, if you're hurling abuse and you start like talking out a family member, or you do some kind of, you know what I mean? Or like your aggression is just way over the top. Like, it's clearly obvious you're not joking. You're like, right, if there weren't this barrier here, like, man would physically hurt him. And all that shit. I have no idea what all
the tribalism, bro. It gets a bit mad at times.
I have no idea what all that's about. But
like, here's the thing as well. Like, I know, and I'll even say this, because there's sometimes even on this channel we can sometimes, like, I don't know, even in footballing terms, we might berate a player, but it's always about football. It's never about anything else. And don't get me wrong, we'll make the jokes, but we're not being dead serious, obviously. Like, these men play for Liverpool, and we've always said it as well. Like, as much as someone you might not think they're good or whatever, man, still respect them at the end of the day. Respect is so key, because I can speak for everyone here. We respect all the players that put on the shirt. I respect them all. I might think some might not be good enough, but I still respect them. And that's why you will never hear me go overboard and go do a madness. Like, you will just never see it. And you won't see none of these lot do it either. So, do you know what I mean?
Right. Let's get our next caller in. Hopefully,
so there was just one other thing that Chris talked about quickly about.
The homegrown stuff with the players moving.
And I think Adrian leaving is a big deal. I do, because I think I've watched Adrian help all the South American players behind the scenes. And remember, people used to laugh at me when I said Moreno used to do that. You do need those guys that help people settle in. So as much as I don't think he's good enough to play for Liverpool, he's going to be missed in the dressing room massively. Adrian, 100%. 100%.
Fair dues. In terms of the homegrown thing, though, I do think we've got enough play. Like, for example, I think it's Davies. I think will probably be promoted to third choice goalkeeper, and I think he'll be homegrown. So that there are players there. So, all right, let's get Jamal on. Jamal, can you hear us, bro?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, brother.
What's going on, bro?
Are you guys good?
Yeah, blessed, brother.
As good as you can be being a Liverpool fan right now.
Yeah, but guys, I don't know if you know, but in the last 10 minutes, it's all kicking off because Villafana, he put on his Instagram that he just wants to leave Leicester and join Chelsea, and then in the next 5 minutes, Chelsea agree a fee. I think Fab just now broke it, and you could check Fab. He's going 70 million. And did you guys see what happened with Anthony? About 2 minutes ago, Anthony dropped a diss track on Ajax. Yeah.
What?
Guys, check it. I'm being real. On Fab page right now. He dropped that whole interview on why. Because today Ajax rejecting 90 million bid for Manchester United.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's guys. So guys, you could check it. I just wanted to inform you that in the last 10 minutes, it's been a madness. But yeah,
bro, I'm looking at some of the stuff now from Fab, and it is, bro. Yeah, the Anthony stuff is, bro, it's real. And like you said as well,
apparently the post was fake. Sorry, apparently the post was fake.
No, but there's a lot
the
of
Anthony
going
one.
on.
No, the Fofana, sorry, the Fofana.
Oh, okay, the Fofana. Okay.
But it says Fab's last one was Chelsea. This is an hour ago. Chelsea Leicester are now on the verge of reaching full agreement for Wesley Fofana. Final details. Then here we go. New bid submitted today following Chelsea plan called on Thursday. Personal terms agreement weeks ago. That looks like that Fofana one's about to go through. I think it's about to go through.
Maybe they mean the Instagram post, whatever Fofana post. Maybe that is fake. That's what maybe they mean. But yeah, man. I mean, yeah, JFT said it, guys. I'm shook tomorrow, man. I can't tell you the last time I'm so shook for a 10 o'clock. Well, it's 10 o'clock in Trinidad. 10 o'clock game against Bournemouth, man. I mean, guys, if we lose, I don't even want to think about it, man. I think we just I don't want to think about it. But yeah, I just agree with the last caller, man, because I don't know if you guys know, but I think Klopp said it. Curtis Jones' injury is stress related. And if that's true, I mean, bro, that's bad because he's young. He's gonna check Twitter, he's gonna check Instagram. And if he see people that's bad mouthing him and saying he's trash and he's this and that, it could really affect him, man. So I just wanna say, yeah, I hope he's all right, man, and he comes back. And yeah, now on to the fun stuff. Carl, I want you to name, in your opinion, who you watch 3 better midfielders than Gerrard, in your opinion, if there's any. Because I know you love Gerrard. And would you guys stop watching your second favorite sport if Liverpool win the Premier League and the Champions League? If that's guaranteed, would you stop watching your second favorite sport? Because I know you guys' favorite sport is football. So would you do it? And yeah, that's it for me.
Big up, bro. Big up.
That's
Jamal,
the second one is mad.
Yeah, the second one.
That second question is the both.
I feel like Jamal to set mine up differently.
I feel like there's a vendetta against me with those questions. So like,
I know how much I love NBA, bro. You know how much I love NBA, bro. That's
yeah. I just have to ask because someone asked me if I'll stop watching my second favorite sport. I like basketball, not as much as you, Matt, but I love basketball as well. And I said, yeah, man, in a heartbeat. Liverpool is everything, man. So yeah, I just want to ask you guys that. But yeah, man. So guys, I'm out. Peace and yeah, man. Smash the like button and hope you guys enjoy the rest of the show.
I love Jamal. Great question, brother.
Love.
Blessings.
I'd just like to answer on behalf of Cal. No, he wouldn't.
Cal wouldn't. I'm not even lying, you man.
Cal would never give up UFC. Never. Ever. What? Ever?
Cal would never give up UFC.
Never
You're
give up
telling
UFC.
me I wouldn't have been able to watch headshot, dead, bang. Look at me now.
Do it.
Look at me now.
I'm not gonna lie. You get withdrawal symptoms. You couldn't do it.
What? You're telling me I wouldn't be able to watch that?
You know what? I watched back the interview again today, Cal. I got a bit emotional, bro.
Bruv.
I got a bit emotional, and I already knew what he said, bro.
Big up to Luke, bruv. When we do the watch along, I mute myself to listen to what the post-fight interview is, so I can go back and say what they've said. And bro, I was sitting there when he was saying what he was saying. Bro, my eyes were welling up and my throat was tight. Like my throat was tight. Even the other day, I was watching it back, and brother, imagine the missus has looked at me and she's gone, "Are you about to cry?" And I was like, "No." She's gone, "You better not. You didn't even cry at the birth of the kids."
Wow, listen,
crying, man. Brother, it's so emotional. It was so emotional.
It's the bit when he's saying that he come from the gutter and he starts to get like a bit emotional, and it's like when you watch it, you're like,
I come from wooden shed and zinc roof. Look at me now. That's like, yeah, Leon, I feel it.
Look at me now.
Look at me now. Mom, I told you I'd change your life.
It's that bit there.
Yeah. That was
when I hear that, I'm like, Leon, stop. Get me a tissue, man.
He was like, I think he said something along the lines of like, I told you, believe in me. Yeah, I told you I changed. Yeah, when he said that, that was some resignation right there. Like man just said to his mum from when he was young, like one day I will be champion.
She
And
brought him to
probably
MMA, bro. She brought him into MMA.
bro, it's mad because you know what it is, yeah. When you're a child and you tell your parents what you want to do, say something grandeur in it. So for him, obviously, UFC being a champion, world champion, your parents are going to support you the best they can. They might believe you, they might not. But to go back now and say it like, Mama told you, like I told you from when I was young, I would. Do you know how much of a moment they must have had? And I think I saw a bit where they passed the phone to him, and I think his mum called him. He's in the hallway. Bruv, I'm not gonna lie.
That hit me
That
hard.
hit me hard, bro.
Hit me
Man, hit me hard.
Look,
You know, like
I
you
don't
want to
think
take that away from me,
bro.
I don't think that there can't be a better feeling in the world than seeing the pride in your mom's face and then knowing you're about to do what all that sacrifice that was made. You're about to do what you've always wanted to do up until that point. That's got to be the best feeling ever. Like it just has to be. Like,
of course, bro. Because the sacrifice is what people don't understand. Because I think what it is as well, if you're in any type of like sport and you make, good money, people just think you got it easy. You got money. If you win, it's almost like a bonus, like you've made it, sort of thing. Like, but people don't understand. Like even Usman, who lost, like the sacrifices that these men make here, when they go training camp, for example, they don't see their family, they lock off family, all of that stuff. They're like they're different. They have to go into this mode where it's like nothing else matters other than my opponent. And obviously, it's not necessarily the same thing for football. People don't understand. Like even in football, like they go training. I think it's like twice in the, sometimes twice in the day. They do morning and afternoon, and then they get back in the evening. Obviously when they go and play games, like people just think like, "Rah, man, just get a coach and roll up to the game." No, like they're with the team for morning. Like there's a lot of sacrifices that has to be made, and people don't understand that. They just think you're getting peace, so you can't really complain. Bruv, you're still a human being. It's still real life. To get anywhere in life, you have to make sacrifices. Is that real? You have to.
99% of people wouldn't even be able to do the weight cut, let alone get into
Bruv, the weight cutting alone,
brother.
People think that's normal. The weight cut is one of the maddest things. To dehydrate yourself.
So yeah, in a nutshell, no, Cal wouldn't.
I'm not. There's no point in me sitting there in line. I couldn't give
What's
up.
your? Sorry, Cal. What's drift? What's your second favorite sport? I don't think I even. What's your one?
It was boxing, but I think UFC has taken boxing's place now. I can't lie.
So would you sacrifice UFC then?
Yeah.
Man, don't even watch the events live, bruv. So.
No, it would. No. I'm
gonna be real. We have to have an off-air conversation about that, Drift. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Yeah. I know. I see the disappointment in his eyes every single
more than
time.
disappointment, bruv. More than disappointment.
I love the sports that are like I said, like boxing and UFC. Like I love them. It's what's mad is I don't want to get too deep into it, but like there'll be a certain point in the week where I will binge everything because let's face it, like for the majority of the time, it's like I'm living in a woman's world, like happy wife, happy life, and all that stuff. So when I get that moment where I get to binge what I want to watch, like I just go on a binge UFC, but I catch up on everything. So when I'm in that moment, I'm in my element, and giving up other stuff would mean I can't have that day because that day is just my day, innit? I even watch other leagues. That's why I watch like French football, German. I just do it all, right? So it would be difficult. It would be very difficult. But like Jamal said, Liverpool is life, though. Like Liverpool is life. Like if Liverpool didn't exist anymore, if Liverpool didn't exist anymore, let's keep it a buck.
Liverpool. I'm Liverpool daytime, UFC nighttime, bro. Living double life.
I know you are, bro. I know you are.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest.
I could do it. I could do it. Nothing means more to me other than family than Liverpool. So I could do it. I could do it. Yeah.
From last Friday to Sunday, I got 2 hours of sleep because of UFC and all the other stuff I had going on. It is what it is, man.
I knew you couldn't. Even do you remember his face, Matt, when I told him about the fight that was confirmed when we was off air the other day?
Yeah.
That type of joy doesn't just like you.
Yeah.
That's love. Do you know what I'm saying? I knew Cal couldn't do it. Cal could never do it.
I promise you, yeah. If you guys were to train any martial art for about a month,
yeah,
you'd become like how I am.
Oh, I know that's why you're more invested. I know it is.
Because it just gives you a whole different perspective.
I hear you. No, I hear you. Bob, the thing is, I used to be...
It's like football. You guys have both played football at a good level, right? So you see it in a different light, innit?
I hear that. I hear that.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Knowing what it feels like to score a goal, it does make you resonate more
when you say it like that, because when Mum was on the coach and that, it's different. It is different. Do you know what I was thinking? I was like, while you lot were talking, I was like, NBA, everyone knows. That's like, I don't know.
You ain't giving that up, bro.
Are you? What's wrong with you lot, man? Champions League and the Premier League, you know.
Peter, make me come out I real. Peter, come out I real. You know, see that get bad. Peter, we are going blood out, Peter.
That's me in the rain right there. I just tried to play that clip. I'm in the rain right now. Because I'm going to be honest, I genuinely don't know.
Nah.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Because you know what it is, yeah? I've watched basketball from obviously Jordan days. And like, that attachment that I have with Bob is so... There's no point me lying. I don't know if I can do it, you know.
I couldn't.
I don't know if I'll be honest. I don't know if I can do it.
You lot are just.
If man said to me, right? No, but if man said to me, you can never watch basketball ever again.
No. He just said for the year till we win. So he said for that year that we win the Champions League, and the thing, you can't watch it for that 1 year.
Bro. LeBron's 37. Bro, he's about to retire.
Bro, you've watched him long enough, bro. You've seen it all, bro.
We might get one more chip. We're running it back with AD.
Couldn't.
Nah, I'm gonna be honest. There's no point me lying. If people, there's no point me lying. I don't know if I could do it. I'll just be honest.
You see me in underground bars and all that, bro. Just, oh my, is that Callum? Like, shut up, bro. You didn't see me here. You didn't see me. Like my life has become mad. I'm all lying to the missus. Where you going now? I'm just going to
NBA above
2 in the morning.
NBA is different, bro.
I'm gonna stay at Mum's house tonight. She isn't feeling well.
Right, Hakeem Olajuwon, big at yourself, Prince.
If you'd have asked me where Mayweather was in his prime, it probably would be a lot harder for me.
So here's the thing: I could go without boxing for a year. At the moment, I could. But
I could go without boxing.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm talking back in the day, though.
No, but the thing is, I really like UFC. Like, I really like it. But if someone said to me, like, like Liverpool. But again, because obviously Callum holds it in higher esteem. So, but I used to be like that because I'm going back to Chuck Liddell and like, who was it? Hold on, I'll give you some names. I'm talking about Shogun Hua. I'm talking about flipping
Rashad.
Rashad Evans. I'm talking about Forrest Griffin. Sorry, Griffin. I'm talking, I said Whitaker. It's because we're both thinking Robert Whitaker. I don't know why, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I go back from that era. So I used to.
You lot aren't allowed to talk about Robert Whitaker, by the way.
Why? Because he got pieced up by
No, because you lot have no respect for my boy. That's why.
No, I respect him.
Matt looked at me and went, "He will never win." I was like, "You're never allowed to talk about him ever."
Do you know what it was, Cal,
yeah?
You know when that fight got lined up, yeah. And to be fair to Drift was like, "Nah, like I think it's gonna be a close fight." But I was being so Drift will never forget this because I was being so arrogant. I was like, Israel gonna knock him out. It's nothing for him.
Remember, I predicted Whitaker to win the first fight.
Yeah, no, you did, but he's more saying that to me.
Yeah, I'm more talking to Matt because
when that fight got announced, I just said he's not beating Israel. I said he can't touch him. But don't get twisted though. One thing I will say, he gained way more respect for me in the second fight, way more respect. And that's probably the Whitaker that Drift was talking about. And even to this day, I still feel like if they had the third fight, it might even be even closer, potentially. Maybe so.
Yeah, nah, I wouldn't.
You know what? Knowing my luck, I would do it, and I'd be like, "Yeah, all right, boom, yeah, Liverpool Champions League, here we come."
That's
and
like
then
someone saying to me,
and Garnu and Jones would get announced, and I'd be like, "Oh."
If you knew the Lakers were going to be in the final versus Golden State,
I just anytime I come on stream, I'll be like, "You're right, G." Yeah, not too bad, boy. That Jones and Garnu fight, boy. Woo. Anyway, let's start the show.
Oh, you remember the Conor Habib? If it was in that year, and I knew I wasn't gonna be able to watch,
bro,
it, like, oh
that fight there. Do you know what it is? That fight even like brought in people that were like sort of like casual, like UFC fans, because
people who didn't even care wanted to watch that.
Do you know what it is though? I will say this though. Dana White is all
right. Let me just put this in perspective for you guys. Yeah, if I'd given up football this calendar year, I'd have missed Gaethje Chandler.
If you give up UFC, you mean?
Yeah. Gaethje Chandler.
Yeah.
Gaethje Oliveira.
Yeah.
Prohaska and Glover Teixeira.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Edwards.
And Usman, yeah. Nah, I hear you, bro.
You would have missed. You would have even missed. I mean, it wasn't the greatest fight. You would have missed the Kobe fight as what was it? The Kobe fight, the second one this year. The second one.
That was last year.
Was that last year?
I think the first fight between them was better. All right, before we move on, quickly,
guys, big up man like Luke Tanner in the building.
All right, Luke. This is for you as well, so Cal don't feel alone. It is literally one or the other. There's no fence sitting, football or UFC.
Wow.
What, forever?
Yeah.
Peter, make me come out of rain. Peter, come out of rain. You know, see that get bad. Peter, we are going to blood clot, Peter, you're nearly dead.
Cal, you better come out of the rain, bro.
I promise, like, and even it's been a weird these past few months, and knowing out,
bro.
I'd have to give one up fully give one up.
Yeah, bro. All right, you had to give one of them up until your eldest born leaves school.
Primary or secondary?
Secondary.
16 years.
This is how this went.
Please, now.
I would give up MMA. I'd give up UFC, but trust me, I'd be in the garden every day just battering the punching bag. Battering the punching bag. Bro, in 16 years, there'd be 2 generations of fighters. I'm
not gonna lie, you would have missed so much.
You wouldn't know anybody when it.
Let me just put it in perspective. The man them that you know now will probably all be gone, and there'll be a new man, and you won't even know what's happened. You wouldn't even be in a loop.
I won't even see the transition because you get the transition.
Yeah, the transition.
All right, here's the stipulation: whichever one you pick, you're allowed to watch all the build-up, pre and post match. You're just not allowed to watch the actual fight or match itself.
That's even worse, bro.
Bro, man just said this. Man said,
oh shit! Say it again. Say something.
That's Cal right now. Say something else. Say something else.
Come on, Jiff, bro. What? Little hold hand and kiss, and then the missus says you gotta go home. Like, no, I'm all right, man. No, come on, man. Do better than that, Jiff.
It'll be worse than that, bro. It'll be like dry humping, and then you gotta go home.
Nah, forget that, bro.
No, but you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. As much as it will be so hard to not watch UFC. If that was the stipulation, and I knew I could watch the build up, and then I could just still watch them, like have
and
the
you
interview
can't watch
afterwards.
the fight.
No, but then I get my football still because that's the choice. I would take that.
No, but you can't watch the fight, fam. There's no point. What's about watching build up and no fight?
Because
you'd rather watch the fight than no build up. No, but what I'm trying to say is that's like
you'll never know, bro.
That's the biggest tease.
No, but if you watch the post fight, then they'll explain what happened. And
someone said it best,
worse, brother. Imagine you didn't watch the Edwards fight, and I said, if you could never watch it again, and I've just explained about the way he's won the fight.
Do you know what Drift would, bro? Do you know what Drift would say?
Emotional damage.
Puff. You can't do that to man. You can't.
Well, he picked football. We got it out of him in the end.
Right.
He
Let's
did
get the
just.
last 3 callers on. Hold on. In fact, I've got to answer the Gerrard question, isn't it? 3 better midfielders I've seen play better than Gerrard. No, I'm not answering.
I swear, you're not answering it. You don't think there's ever been
so here's the thing. This is why I hold Gerrard in such high esteem. Gerrard was an
That's the energy. Go on, carry on.
So here's the thing, yeah.
Yeah. Go.
The Gerrard, was an all-round complete midfielder. Xavi and Iniesta, they weren't all-rounders. They were phenomenal before anyone comes and starts cussing me. But if I said to them, right, go and track a man and tackle him, they ain't doing that, innit?
Why are you running? Why are you running?
All right,
Cal, you're running away from the question, bro.
I am, of course I am.
You're right.
Cal running, fam.
Cal is running away from the question. You know what, guys? Let's not do this. We can't take UFC from him and then make him diss Gerrard. We can't do that.
Jamal, I ain't even done nothing to Jamal in a while, bro. Like, what's that? I'd rather you bring receipts, Jamal, bro. What are you doing there?
No, but the man, but the man asked he asked you the question, though.
I know, but I'd rather him bring receipts now. You know, that was Jamal Tiggy. He'd bait me up. He'd be like, "Oh, what do you think of so and so?" I'd be like, "Yeah, I rate him," and then you'd drop a receipt. And
all right, Cal, look, can I make that one's an Argentinian and 2 a Brazilian, and you're not being shady in any way if you say them 3 players are better than Gerrard.
He's saying Messi. No, but he's talking about midfield. He specified midfield.
Oh, did he specify midfield?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay,
It's
okay,
deep.
fair
It's
enough.
deep. Jamal knows what he's doing, man. It's
enough.
deep. Yeah, should we just move on?
He asked you the question, bro. I mean, I don't know.
Now they said Cal's met the low block. I have still. I can't, man. It's all right. I just go flip's sake, man. But they weren't complete. They weren't complete like him. Xavi, Iniesta, and Zidane, innit?
Right, boy. That was hard for Cal
They
to
couldn't
do.
They don't tackle though, bruv. They don't tackle. None of them man could have gone right back in the Champions League final and saved us. They
Cal,
couldn't have.
you see it now. You said that. You better watch it back in. Be careful, you got Anfield blood.
Let's move on. Cal is in the mud.
Yeah, that hurt me, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Maddie Mad, welcome to the show, bro.
What's up, people? Good evening to the CDM crew and big up Kopish each and every time. So, Cal,
bro.
I need you to get a pen and a paper because you have to write down because I got 13 for you.
13 questions.
Yep, and the quick fire.
25 cents, bro.
We can do it in 3 minutes. Minutes.
All right, go on.
Okay. First question. If Jude goes to City or Madrid next year, who is Klopp signing? Second question. At the end of Klopp contract, if he doesn't win another trophy, where would you place him as one of the greats in the Premier League? Third one, if Simi leaves next year due to not getting game time, who are you blaming, him or Klopp? Fourth question. In my humble opinion, I think Gravenberg and Tashimi, they knew Liverpool had an interest with them, but they never took it seriously due to the lack of Klopp, seeing Klopp with his preferable favoritism. right? Fifth question. Klopp said previously we got money to spend, but we don't need to sign a midfielder, right? But now he's coming back and he's contradicting that, where he's saying is only the money that they are allowed to spend. So I want to know your thoughts on that. Edwards, who just recently left Liverpool, where this is in direct quotes to you all, where a Michelin chef working in a bum restaurant. The reason why Edwards left, in my opinion, he didn't want to deal with it anymore. He knew that he was better and could do a much better job, and he was not going to stay or resign the next contract to stay working under those terms, right? Now, if Jude does come to Liverpool, who is he going to be playing with next year? Right? Also, we have to buy 2 mids next year. Knowing that we need 2 mids desperately, and any player that we're going to go to, isn't their price going to be jacked up because we are in that situation, right? Question for everybody. Did you all think that Mane left because he got tired of not being able to get over the line, like you all said, being the bridesmaid? And also about the little comment that Klopp had made in regards to the AFCON, right? In my opinion, most of the players who resigned their contracts early this year and last year, they are the ones who are playing the most poor football for the entire season so far, right? Then
how many is that, Cal?
I'm on 10. I'm on 10.
I'm on 11, bro, but I think I've missed out about 5.
All right. Another statement. I remember you.
Be quick.
I remember you, Carl, saying when you saw the picture with John Henry with the hat on, my owner. But do you know what your owner was doing when Liverpool got trashed in their last game? He was cutting a ribbon in Fenway Park opening Symphony Hall on LFC's opening game at Anfield. Right? And I'm going to leave it like that for now. So you all deal with that. I'm very interested to hear what the comments on them are going to be. Peace out. Big up, Kopish. Love. And I live right here in Boston, 10 minutes away from Fenway Park. So I know what FSG are.
Hold on. You can't leave us like that. What? Tell us.
Okay, I'll tell you. Okay, let me give you a caveat of what LFC are. I mean FSG are.
Yeah.
They play the money ball nonsense with Liverpool. Do you know when they took over Boston Red Sox? After the first 2 years, they were the biggest spenders and had the highest salaries in the entire Major League Baseball. That is even surpassing the New York Yankees. Google it, you shall see it.
Okay. And then what happened?
The guy who was similar to like Edwards, who was in charge of Red Sox recruitment and players and stuff, he left after I think the 3rd or 4th year because he, like Edwards, although not in the same capacity, realized that FSG was screwing him over. And as much as he loved Red Sox, he looked at it and said, hey, I'm a Michelin chef. I am not going to deal with going to the trash can and dealing with no leftovers and throwaways. So that's all I got to say. Peace out, guys. Have a good one.
Big up, bro. Big up,
bro.
Okay.
Boy, there's a lot to...
I ain't had hand cramp like this since I sat my degree exam.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest, Carl. I missed out question 2 and 3 and 5. So I've got 1, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So hopefully we've made some headway somewhere.
All right. So the first one was if we don't sign Jude,
who
would you go for? So let's do these answers quick. Drift,
Yeah,
you
because he
go
said
for-
if Jude signs for City or Madrid, who's Klopp gonna go?
Yeah,
For?
yeah. His question is, who's Klopp gonna go for? Nobody. Bellingham's the only target.
I agree. I think he waits it. Basically,
Milner and Naby get new contracts.
I think Klopp. If
please God, no.
tell a lie, actually tell a lie. If Klopp, if Jude signs for either Man City or Real Madrid, we will go for someone. But I don't think any of the fans will even know. Like, we won't know until we've actually agreed a fee. I think it'll be one of those ones, personally.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say we go for Kone from Mönchengladbach.
What about was it Salcedo from Brighton? Is it Salcedo?
Sukic, sorry.
Sukic from Salzburg?
Salzburg, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All right. If Klopp wins no more trophies between now and the end of his contract, where does he rank as a Premier League great?
As a great.
4th or 5th.
He can't be the best. Yeah. He's in that kind of category. Yeah.
If Tsimikas leaves next season, or this next summer, do we blame him or Klopp?
The whole club.
As things stand, probably more so Klopp.
As things stand, Klopp for
me.
Yeah. Do you agree that Tchouaméni and Gravenberch looked at our situation and thought, I'm not going to go there due to Klopp's favoritism?
No, I just think both of them looked at it and gone. Tchouaméni probably just had that dream of playing for Real Madrid, and Gravenberch, I just think Bayern Munich showed the most interest from when they knew he was available.
I agree. Number 5, Klopp says we have before Klopp says we have money to spend. Now he's saying he doesn't know where the money's coming from or doesn't know what's going on with transfers. Is he contradicting himself?
I had that as question 6, but we move. So I must have missed that. But I think
he's contradicting himself.
Yeah, 100%. And Drift might
because he's lying. He's always been lying to cover up for the owners.
See, if that's the case, then yeah, he would be lying because, like I'm about to say, when Jiff was talking about FSG are giving them the funding and but then at the same time Klopp was doing the interviews and backing it, I don't know, it's a bit it is contradicting. But as things stand right now, he's doing what he did with the centre-back situation. So that kind of leads to or alludes to he has a problem with the amount of money that he maybe wants to go and sign the players. He hasn't maybe got enough. I don't know. That's what it alludes to from how he's talking.
Do you think Ed was left because he was fed up?
Yeah.
Yes, I think he did actually.
The man that kept asking him to turn water into wine, and only so many times you can do it.
There's only so many times you can sell a player, bro.
See, I don't think he did because if he left for that reason, we would have seen him already at another club, and he's rejected quite a few advances.
Bro, do you not?
He needed a sabbatical, bro. His brain's been working too hard for the last 4 years.
The man sold Brewster and Solanke for a combined 46 mil. You think your brain ain't gonna scramble after that?
Who does Jude Bellingham partner next season if we get him?
Elliot and Carvalho.
In midfield? You think we have a midfield 3 of Elliot, Carvalho, and Bellingham?
No. If he comes
seems like we want it to be a teenage dirtbag. We just want a holy for teenagers, bro. It is what it is.
I think realistically it'll be Fabinho and Thiago, but I understand why just making that joke though, because you wouldn't put it past us to come out of a madness. It could even be Curtis Jones, but it won't be. It shouldn't be. It'll most likely be Klopp would want Thiago and Fabinho and Bellingham. That's what he would like. The problem is, will he get that? Because Thiago gets injured way too much.
With us needing 2 midfielders next summer, do you think the prices will be hiked up and will it make it more difficult to sign?
Yeah, we're not doing them backhanded deals where you just see on Twitter, I don't know, 9 a.m. Liverpool are linked with such and such, and then 9 p.m. they've agreed a fee. That's not happening. It's not.
Do we think Mane left because he was fed up of being the bridesmaid and not winning the trophies, and because of the AFCON comment by Klopp?
No, I
Nothing
think
to do with the
Mane.
AFCON coming.
Yeah,
No,
I don't think so. He knows Klopp. I think he left because, dare I say it, I'll still stick to it. I think he felt undervalued at Liverpool. I do. I think if you look at it, I know he's not one for the headlines, but the way how he's taken to Bayern and how they see him, it's not like he didn't get it at Liverpool, but maybe he didn't get it enough. And I'm talking about internally, maybe. Not from us fans, because we adored him, but maybe internally. If you go on about it, it's always been like a Salah thing or a Virgil thing. And there was always that thing of like, oh, Salah's better than Mane, Mane better than Salah. I just think we just had to appreciate it more. Not only that, I think from a financial point of view as well. I don't think financially he was up there or seen as one of the high earners, which he should have been.
You know what? I do think there's a part of him that wanted a new challenge because maybe, being underneath, being the bridesmaid isn't. Like I said, I think the whole team's sick of being the bridesmaid, if I'm being completely honest with you. But yeah, I mean, Matt, you say the fan base loved him. Nah, there was half the fan base that showed.
I wouldn't say half. If I'd say a
Mane.
minority. That me personally,
it was more than a minority, bro.
I think it's a minority.
When he was going through that bad patch, I've never seen so many disrespectful things said about someone who's been so great for Liverpool.
No, I hear that.
It used to piss me off more than anything, bro.
I hear
that. The players who signed new contracts are showing bad form. Is there cause for concern there, or do you agree?
I think it's become easy to think that since Ozil, where like because it was so stand out, and then you had like Bale, and then you had Aubameyang, and it was like, oh, is there this thing now where if you get a new contract, you start playing crap? But I don't know. I mean, loads of players get new contracts and don't play crap, so I don't know. Maybe not.
And finally, the last one was wasn't more of a question, it was more of a statement. Just basically saying like FSG well and Liverpool's opening game of the season. Yeah, we're never going to be FSG's first love, which is
we never will be.
The biggest problem I have with them. We're never going to be their first love, but I've grown to accept it, even though if I don't agree with it. That doesn't give them an excuse not to be more risky.
We're basically the side chick.
Yeah, we always have been.
Red Sox is the wife, the main girl, and we're the side chick, innit? That's what.
Yeah, of course.
Well, Red Sox know about us. That's what makes it even more wild. He's a high value.
Yeah, but no.
How
yeah.
How old are you?
You know what I mean? The main chick's well kept, innit? So, Yeah. What holiday does the side chick even get? None, innit? You just there.
Right.
No holiday. You might just. I don't know. Yeah,
I tell you probably get Father's Day because no one don't give a shit about that day, do they?
Oh.
No, but do you know Father's Day? I think like they did a list of like most celebrated holidays, and I think Father's Day was like in double digits.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but that don't surprise me.
Yeah,
but that's wrong though.
Of course, it's wrong.
It is.
Of course, it's wrong, bro.
This is what it is, though, isn't it? Like we know what it is.
Man, don't really care about them thing there, but
let's got our final caller on. Henry, thanks for waiting so patiently. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, guys. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, brother.
What's going on, bro?
I've been waiting to have a call-in where all three of you are here because I wanted to ask this question, but I kind of need Matt around to help explain it just in case. So I wanted to ask you guys, because I'm a relatively young person and you guys have been watching soccer longer than I have. I wanted to ask you, which player has had...
How old are you, Henry?
No. I want to ask you, like, what... It's two questions. The first is, what player over the past 20 or 30 years has had the biggest influence on the culture of football? And the reason why I wanted Matt around is because the person I'm comparing it to is Allen Iverson in the NBA. Like when Allen Iverson came around right around 2000, like his image and how he presented himself, like connected a lot of like hip hop and rap into the NBA image. And he was seen as iconic for that reason because he changed the actual like aesthetic and the culture around the game. And then, so that's one question. Like, what player had
I've already
a similar...
got two people in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's who I have in mind for the first question. Then the second question is, I feel like someone like Kobe changed how like athletes thought about themselves and about like putting in work and making an effort and caring about their craft. So then the second question is, who was the football player that had the biggest impact on like athletes and like creating like a psyche around like kind of the Mamba mentality type of thing?
Yeah,
so,
that's a sick question. Yeah.
So one about the image, another about the like athletic psyche. That's all I have.
Henry,
Sick.
I like that, man. Big,
That's some sick questions, bro. Hey, listen.
And I'm glad I've seen that.
Give up basketball, little liar. Look how excited.
No, but I never.
Look how excited. Look at
Bob,
this fam. Look at him. He ain't giving up basketball. Matt's gonna be down there in one of those underground bars with me.
No, but you know, I said I couldn't do it. Remember, I said I don't think I could do it, bro. I have to be honest.
I'm so glad I've seen that Allen Iverson documentary, because I know exactly what you're talking about. That was such a good documentary, man. I love it.
He's legendary. He is a true icon. They're both icons. They're both icons, but they influence people in different ways.
100%, bro. 100%. That Mamba mentality from Kobe's is different. Don't get me wrong, rate Iverson highly, but you see, like Kobe just, Kobe's just different, bro.
Wasn't Iverson shown a lot of disrespect though towards the end of his career? Like,
I mean, he had a complicated career. He was an amazing player, but he never got to reach the pinnacle because he wasn't on a competitive team like that.
Agreed.
He himself was a titan, especially like for his size. Guy was small in a league of giants and did his thing to an extremely high level. But
man, well, we checked that up now, bro. Big up, man. Big up, bro.
Take care, guys.
Big up, man.
Bye now.
Big up, bro.
Big up. Another great question from Henry, man.
Sick questions, bro.
Out of curiosity, how tall was Allen Iverson?
I think he was 6 foot exactly.
Yeah. I was gonna say like he was.
I think he was 6 foot.
He's short for basketballers,
bro. That is.
He's short. He's tall for us normal humans, like.
Bro. It's mad. It's mad. Like it's that.
You know what freaked me out? Yeah, because I used to sometimes you watch podcasts and you get educated on them. I used to think, generally speaking, enough people in the world were tall. Like there were just millions and millions of tall people in the world. But you know, the average height of a man is actually only 5'7".
Yeah.
Like
I think it's 5'8". But you're right. No, along those lines, though.
I was shocked. Like I thought average height of a man would be like 5'11" or 6 foot. Like that's what I thought would have been the average. 5'7" is kind of short for a man, isn't it? When you really think about it. But that's like the average height of a man. I was like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm above average.
Shout out to the people that know above average.
So them basketball man are like differently giants. Like if the average size of a man is 5'7", and there's man here walking around at like 6'7", that's crazy.
That's
crazy.
Of course, it's mad.
But
all right, so I've got my answer for the first one. What are you guys saying? Who's
all right, so
football culture influence over the last 20, 30 years?
For me, there's only two.
By the way.
I've got two that come to mind. So over the last 20 years,
20 to
David
30
Beckham.
20 to 30.
Okay, David Beckham, 100%.
Yeah, that's who mine was.
Beckham, bro. When you think about the culture of how you look, what you do outside of football, like bringing a different side, like. Bro, Beckham was like kind of like that entrepreneur football player, and what's so mad is that people started having their own agencies, having their own fashion. That he was the first.
He turned football into a business. That's what 100%. David Beckham did.
Yes,
he turned
of course.
football into a business.
Another person was Ronaldinho, because Ronaldinho made it okay for you to be a street baller and play professional football. Ronaldinho was the first person to be like, if you want to have fun on the pitch, you can have fun on the pitch. Not everyone has to be a Roy Keane. You can be like me. You can have fun. You can play gracefully. And if there's one other person, although I'm trying to think of the timeline, it would be R9. Because R9, for me, transcended this new... For me, with R9, there was no Henri. If there's no Henri, there's no Mbappe. and it stems from R9 because R9 was the first person to be like,
have his boots and everything.
Yeah, have your own boot deal. Your commercials. It's Nike or Nike.
R9 is officially the first superstar of football.
Of course he is. But what I was gonna say is though, he's
Pele.
the first. He's
Pele.
the no, but see,
but he wasn't in the way of like how you just said, Cal, like had his own boots, had like all these things that was like superstardom. Like, I remember the world was different back then as well, so you couldn't really be
commercial.
I think,
but that's because
Pele was the first superstar. Though.
Yeah. No, Pele and Maradona were kind of like the first two. But then what it was is that like how eras changed when we had like the Nokias and that. That's when R9 kind of like came into play. R9 was like the first person when it came to like media and adverts. You're speaking R9. You think of the airport advert, you're thinking that's R9 and the rest of the Brazilian guys. That was R9. He was the first, in my opinion, like global superstar from a worldwide perspective. Because don't get me wrong, Maradona and Pele were big, but remember, football was big, but wasn't as big. Remember, R9 helped grow that, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, them man are gods of the game.
It was him. You know what? I need to send you.
He
guys
helped them ascend.
Yeah, I need to send you guys a what was it? Tifo? I'm trying to think if it was Tifo.
He helped them ascend, bro.
They basically did a documentary showing why Ronaldo and Nike were so big at the same time, and they basically went into partnership, and they both exponentially grew at the same time, and that's why they both had that superstar. Because Nike took over effectively because it was owned, but football was pretty much Adidas, innit?
Yeah, bro. It was Adidas for donkey's years, bro.
Yeah,
Adidas,
in the same way Nike did with basketball with Michael Jordan, they did that with Ronaldo.
With R9, bro. I'm telling you. So yeah, for me, like I said before, R9, R10, and I can't even say the Beckham one because I don't know. But yeah, and Beckham.
But basically, I think the majority of the other people, as much as they were superstars, they were more superstars to their own people. Whereas I think Ronaldo became a superstar to everybody.
Beckham,
do you get what I mean? Bro. No, but obviously, like he was after, if you get what I mean. Like I think he did the whole like business. Because I'm thinking about people like Roberto Baggio, Pele, Maradona. Like it was their country that adored them in that superstar way. But I don't know if the whole world did. Whereas I think Ronaldo was that first guy where like the whole world just was in awe of this guy. Do you know what I mean? And as I say, he was the first one to do the marketing with the football boots and all that kind of stuff. And it was like, it just took things to a whole nother level. And let's not get it twisted. You see, even on the pitch, Ronaldo was the first person, in my opinion, that was like, do you know what? I can actually do a skill and sprint at the same time. Because before him, it was more like you did a skill and then you sprinted, or you were sprinting and then you slowed down and you did a skill. Whereas he was like, I'm going to do both at full speed. Like, I'm going to sprint as fast as I can and I'm going to do a skill. Maradona was more dribbling than skill, but all right, I'll let the argument go that it could have been him. But like, that's why Ronaldo's...
There's a bag of man that did the skill and sprint still, Drew. Jarzinho and them, man.
That's why R9's knees game up, Bob. He was doing things that wasn't physically possible to do.
Matt.
I've got breaking news regarding Liverpool. It says, as things stand right now, this is from one of the papers. Jurgen Klopp has taken a U-turn on his midfield stance, admitting he was wrong. No, sorry, he was wrong. You were all right. He was now desperately searching for a midfielder, and there's now various reports as well. Liverpool are actively looking to sign a midfielder before the window closes. And there was something else. Where is it? There was one other thing. I can't blimmin' see it. But basically, cut long story short, it would seem like Liverpool have now changed their stance on the midfielder and are now actively pursuing. Whatever you guys want to take from that. And this is very.
You not think of any midfielder versions of Kabak or Thingy?
I'm just saying. No. I'm just saying. But it just seems like the stance has changed, and there's a lot of reports coming out tonight that's like Liverpool are pretty much, I think this is like, that the embargo section or whatever, or the bit that comes after. I think people are kind of talking about that now, like in terms of
do you know who we are? We're the people who go someone else's house and out of politeness go, nah, you're all right. You sure you don't want any food? No drink? No, I'm all right. 2 hours later. Yeah, bruv. 2 hours later, you see man in the corner A man's just hungry, thirsty. Man looks all kind of miserable. And it's like, he just got to swallow his pride and go, yeah, is there still any food? Like, well, you should have just said you wanted something. But what's left? You know, we just open up the barbecue thing and it's just, I don't even know what's left. Like a veggie burger or something. Something no one wanted.
Bird's eye thing. Chickpea.
Oh my days.
Man, that ain't gonna tie you over. That ain't
And
gonna
apparently there's a report going around saying that Jurgen Klopp, he says, I don't know whether it's true or not. Matthias Nunes was identified as a midfielder to get by the LSE recruitment team, and Klopp rejected it. He was even waiting for the move, but eventually got impatient. Now, okay, that's someone's personal opinion. Hold on. I thought that was actually a report. No, fake news. Fake news. Forget that, people. But basically, Liverpool.
I even reckon that quote is fake until somebody verifies.
No, Liverpool. No. But no, do you know what? The news about Liverpool trying to get midfielder is on.
Who are we gonna get? The Sheffield United brother?
We're gonna get probably
Sanderberg, isn't it? From Sheffield
what's my
United.
man's
He's
name?
like a Kabak kind of.
Hold on, wait. Before we go any further, guys, if this is true and Klopp said this, it puts the whole debate to bed.
I don't think it does. I think it. No, because I will still believe that the only reason he's changing his stance or anything's changing is FSG have been forced to have to give some money.
That quote is quite telling, though.
Bruv, if he said
that's
that
real, by the way.
If he said I was wrong, not in maybe in those words, but if he says I was wrong and we need to get a midfielder, if he could
still be him, that could still be him deflecting for the owner's sake. And I need to know if that's a real, like, is it a real quote, Matt? Is it actually a Klopp quote? Him saying I was wrong. I need to know how.
Gonna find out right now if it was.
If he's the one who's had a U-turn, then this is on him.
All I know is, unless it's gonna be an actual midfielder that is of real quality, like there's no point in just buying somebody for the sake of buying somebody now. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it has to be a real, it has to be, but we'll see.
All right, let's get through these supers. All right, Dinesh says, evening, Cal. Why was Gerrard, evening, Cal. Why was Steven Gerrard was moved on at age 36 and James Milner given a new contract at the same age? FSG should be questioned. That was to do with Brendan Rodgers, bro. Brendan Rodgers did Gerrard kind of dirty and like tried to just Brendan in it. Brendan was just being a bit silly around that time. I think if Gerrard was under Klopp and was able to still get around the pitch and do all that, put it this way, if Gerrard had signed the summer, if Klopp had signed in the summer, Gerrard would have been a Liverpool player for longer and he would have finished his career at Liverpool. No doubt. And I think Sterling would have stayed that summer as well, by the way.
Probably, yeah.
Voice of Reason says, go through the Liverpool midfielders, ask yourself this. If they were at another club, would you want Liverpool to sign them? That's facts. I'm not going to lie. That is what it boils down to. And I'm not being rude. Thiago and Fabinho are the only two I'm taking if they were at another club. Elliot as well, by the way. I would take Elliot as well.
So the report comes from, it seems like it comes from Dave Maddock from the Mirror. He's the one.
He's hitting from his paper, isn't it?
Yeah, but he's
it's not and again, Twitter, so where is it in an article?
No, so other, you know, like when you get like other Liverpool, what do you call it? Basically, other Liverpool Twitter. What do you call it? I don't know. Let me see.
What, journals or correspondence or whatever?
Yeah, I'll basically say so. Like, you know, like you got that Anfield Edition, Anfield Watch. They're all citing David Maddock at the Mirror. And it's like, yeah, Jurgen Klopp is desperately looking to sign a midfielder before the transfer window shuts. And Jurgen Klopp has admitted, again, this is from Anfield Edition, who was citing David Maddock as well. I was wrong, you were right in regards to the midfield cover. And this could be from the embargo section as well, because remember the embargo section, not everyone's going to get hold of what was said as well.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm just trying to find out more as you guys are talking. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it to see if it's fake or whatever. So I don't know.
Jamrock says, where does Hendo play if Klopp wants a number 8? Who can play the 6 when Hendo is the best suited for backup 6? Does Jurgen Klopp still see Hendo as an 8? That's my worry, if I'm going to be honest.
I don't know. That's why sometimes I think to myself, how real is the quote that the 8 that can play 6 is what it was as well, though.
I'm going to be real with you. If I had my way, I'd sign 3 centre midfielders and Hendo would become my third choice number 6. He'd basically become the Milner who can fill in all 3 positions in midfield. Shout out to Vern, who just become a member. Big up yourself, Vern. You've been rocking with us for a little while and always supported. So I appreciate that. Himanshu says, Drift, Matt, what's your view on the AJ situation in this future? Yeah, I spoke on this. You guys think?
Yeah. I think I wouldn't say he's done, but this is what when it comes down to what I was saying about like it's become too much about money now. I don't see the point in AJ having a fight unless it's for a title, because the demand on him now and stuff like that, it would be a bit weird. So unless he can forge like a rivalry with someone that's intense enough to be like you want to watch it, it's going to be quite hard to find who he fights next now for me. That's the only thing. You know what I mean? So I feel bad for him though, man. I think you can see that's 10 years of pressure lick straight in the head top. The way like that whole thing happened, man. That's pressure at its finest, isn't it? So
yeah. In regards to the AJ thing, my opinion, clear the concussion. I think that's a lot of pressure. I think he carried a lot of UK boxing on his shoulders. I think UK boxing was going for a bad time, and I think he helped, put seats back as well. Like he done as good as he could, and I think he went about it the wrong way. But that I think was how he probably truly feels. I think he probably feels like like deep down, like I've done so much. He probably still feels like he gets disrespected, and he knows he's not the best, but he's giving it everything. But it was just all wrong in it. It was the wrong time, wrong place. That's not how you say it. I just think he knows as well that is it for him in terms of like, I think that was realization as well. Like in the moment, yeah, I'm probably never gonna get back them belts. Like I know that I'm not really gonna get another chance like that. So yeah, that's what I think.
Pierre Kravitz to Pep Linders, and they found you amusing for a while in the video voice. By the way, he takes over media after Ox next season. Simicast.
Yeah, he's got the band still. He's got the band, I think. Simicast, yeah. Or Trent, maybe. Because Trent and Robbo used to do that wingman thing. So Robbo is pretty good actually. It might be Robbo. It might be Robbo, funny enough.
Sean says, boy, so downbeat on the stream. Let's not turn into AFTV after 3 games. It's not cool. We know better, right? I don't think we've quote unquote been AFTV. I'll be honest, I do feel quite bad when people see it as a negative on AFTV. I think Robbie just gave a platform to people who wanted to express their opinions. Like, I don't like the term "don't be AFTV" personally.
Yeah.
No, agreed.
I mean, what I will say is I don't even think we've been that downbeat. I know obviously a lot of these supers from earlier, but have we been that downbeat?
I've been downbeat since the beginning of the season. I know I have. Zabiri says, realistically, how bad is the first 10 games to have to be for Klopp to get sacked? Is there enough belief in the bank to write off a whole season? 3 wins, 4 draws, 3 losses, and nothing. Klopp can't get sacked in the first 10 games unless he just can't.
Yeah,
I have to give Klopp the season personally. I have to.
Yeah, 100%. Listen, Klopp.
Although it'd be very hard to sit here in 10 game in 7 games time if we lose 7 in a row and he lost 8 games and drew 2.
I don't listen, guys. I think we all have to agree with this. Klopp ain't the problem. He might be part of the problem, but he's not the problem. Like, when you deep it, he's not the problem. we've got a bag of injuries, freak of injuries. It seems like, and I say seems like, he maybe hasn't got the financial capability to do what he wants to do. We're not too sure on that. If there's one thing we should not do is doubt our manager. However, things can change. I'm not at that road yet where I'm thinking, man, I have to start thinking Klopp's the problem. No, I'm not even close to that yet. There's so many things that have to transpire for me to start thinking like that. It would have to be like stupid decisions that he's making. Like, for example, Diogo Jota's just banged in 5 and 5 and then he starts Firmino or something. You know, like that mad things. You're like, bro, that don't make no sense, bro. What are you doing? So, yeah.
Jamrock says the injuries played a role in his mindset. He said he would be good if all the players were healthy. Drift, did you not hear him say that?
Yeah, but like I said, man, Klopp says things to cover things up, man. I stand by that and I believe it.
Plano Boy TX says, I wish someone asks Jurgen Klopp why injuries are so constantly an issue with us. Is there an issue with his training or coaching? I think we do have to start questioning those things.
Although last season was almost impeccable with injuries, though, so it's a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah. But the others haven't been. That's the problem. Zabiri says, Drifty, to your point about taking out the garbage, Karius, Naby, Ox, this will be Klopp admitting he got it wrong like he did with Origi. Mr. Wrong. Fire Fist V says, big up, guys. How do I call in? So what happens is towards the beginning of the show, we put the link in the chat and then you're able to get in from there. But it does fill up very quick, so you got to be very quick to get in. James says, I think our judgment is blinded by injuries. I think with a full strength squad, this squad would be too much for anyone, but we need a midfield ASAP.
You know why I disagree with James, even though he's actually speaking truth? Which is why, not to sound contradictory,
we knew these injuries were coming.
Too many of our players are injury prone, so it's not about the quality, bro. It's about the availability. Nobody here is shocked Matip's injured. Nobody here is shocked Thiago's injured. Nobody here is shocked Ox is injured. Like, it's too regular. It's too regular. Jota's the only one where we're like, well, that's not a regular one.
Fact.
Like, even before Ibu came, we were a bit worried about his injury. Like, bless him, he was injury free all season.
This is his one big
injury. He had a ravaged injury career for the last however months it was at Leipzig as well. So, like, I'm not gonna lie, most of the players who were injured, like, this is what they do. They get injured. We need a robust team. We need a team full of Gini Wijnaldums. Players who give you 38 games a season. Like, we just do. It's just, even Bobby's injury prone now. Like, it's worrying, man.
Agreed. Ash says, boxing's been dead for 15 years. The obsession with the O has ruined it. Floyd and co made the next generation obsess over the O. Hearns, Duran, Leonard, Hagler. They were all glory days. You lost, you went again, no whining.
Yeah,
I agree with that as well.
That's fact.
Yeah.
So true. People are too scared of losing their undefeated thing. That's a fact, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Mitu says, Cal, no. The next manager must be a winner. What has Potter won? What has Stevie won in Europe's top 5? For me, we hire a winner. We hired a winner. We replace him with one. If I can get the words out. Do you know what? I can't sit here and be like, you're wrong for saying that. I get it. My preference would be Potter because I think from what I've seen of him, he could evolve this team. In the same way I look at players who haven't won many accolades and things and think they could come in and do a job for us. But I'm not going to say you're wrong for saying that. I fully get that notion. Chainsaw says, we need Matt in the ring. Kop-ish family, the best on YouTube.
Against who?
Big up, bros, as always. Bobby a 10, but playing him as a 9 creates an unnecessary skill.
Fighting, bro.
Yeah. Chainsaw says, big up Chris Angel. Mental side matters so much. Facts. Big up Chris.
All right, Ben, are you watching? Astrid. I mean, yeah.
Larko 76 says, to clarify for Matt and Drift from Wednesday's show, my FPL team name is Top of the Klops 2. I don't have 2 teams entered. I wouldn't do you guys pause like that. I just Googled FPL team names, saw it, liked it, and used it, changed it.
All right, no.
You know what? Fair enough, because obviously what it means is somebody had it, but he just had to add the 2 because someone had it. So that is fair enough. Fair
And I
dude.
rate you more because remember you had Top of the Pops and Top of the Pops 2 back in the day still.
Agreed.
Oh,
no.
yeah.
Big up,
Oh,
bro.
yeah.
Big up. But I will
if
say
you was on
this,
Top of
though.
the Pops 2, you was a little disappointed though.
Yeah.
I will say this though. You're still under the Kopish review. I will still review it just to make sure. I'm gonna make sure. No, I'm joking. You're blessed, bro. You're blessed.
Razor says, find it weird how some people don't like any sport. Yeah, I don't get it.
No, do you know what I will say? I don't get it, but it's just because we're not them people. Right? No. Okay, that sounds even worse, you know.
I just left you where I left you. Matt, you tried to play hero, brother. You're Homelander.
If you don't like sport, you just don't like sport.
This is what's mad because I find it hard to not be truthful because I'm a truthful person, but I know you can get cancelled for saying shit out of pocket these days. Yeah,
be careful what you about saying, though, Drift.
I must admit, if I buck a dude for the first time, yeah, no matter where, on a night out,
and he said
friend of a friend's boyfriend, you know, I don't know what it is. I just and he says he ain't into no sport at all. I look at him sideways. I can't help it. It's just something innate in me. I'm like, and I'll try and about F1, tennis. I'll like it, and it I'm just like, what am I supposed to do with this guy? I don't know. I don't know.
I would struggle to think of a conversation.
But once it be said, like, I'm not into sports, but like, man's into like health and that.
What, health is wealth? No, but I mean, well, so then I'll be like, so you watch the Olympics then? Like, do you like you
he's
know?
Like, no. I just. He's like,
no. You gotta like something.
Really
I read the magazine. Yeah, man's just like, no, I read the magazine.
I need to know that there's some kind of sport that you
what was he? He don't like sport. He just likes cooking. He's like to cook in it, cook food and them things. He just like to cook food.
Like, look, like I said, I'm gonna look at him sideways if he says there's
let me stop trying to press
at all. It is what it is. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying that my innate reaction is to question how that's possible.
He might like to read book. No, but again, listen, all jokes aside, everyone.
Then when I looked at Cal and he said he don't think Nutella's nice, it was like, huh?
Right, you didn't bring that back up, brother.
Oh yes, Cal.
Wait. No. Tell the full story. I got it wrong. I was thinking of a different product. I've got Nutella.
Really?
Do you want me to go and get the Nutella out the cupboard now?
You did. I was joking. You did redeem yourself.
Did you like Nutella? What was the thing that he don't like?
Yeah, he did. He thought we were talking about something.
I was mistaken. I eat Nutella, bro. Do you want me to take the camera?
I'm trying to overcompensate.
No, because I was getting hit up in the DMs and all that because of it. Like, that was like the food equivalent of my art.
Do you like jam? Do you like jam?
Yes, bro. Of course, I like jam.
Do you like butter?
Yes, bro. What do you think I am?
Just making sure. Do you like bread?
I'm out there eating dry toast, bro. Just parched. Come on, man. Give me some credit, bro.
I'm not gonna lie. There's a part of me that thinks the Nutella is Stevie's, but we moved.
No, it's not, bro. It's not. I spread it on the ting, bro. I spread it on the raisin and cinnamon bagel slices. I do.
Nah, it's calm. Even though I'm not gonna lie, me and Drift do not believe you.
You're killing me right now. Ibrahim says Mane is world class, doesn't need any headlines. I think he wanted a new challenge and was a better deal for him and his family. I agree.
I kind of. Do you know what it is? What the person's saying might not even be wrong. It's just hard. I think it's hard to accept. I think that's for me anyway. It's hard to accept. If that was the case.
Jamrock says so. Jurgen changed his mind, prompting Ward to act.
Julian Wardy.
Shout out to Rozzy. Says apparently Liverpool looking at Frankie de Jong.
No way. If we sign Frank, listen. Don't get.
Do you know what? The only way that there's a part of me that could believe we would go after Frankie de Jong is if we looked at the bigger picture, we scoped it, we're playing chess, not checkers, and we've realized that Barcelona need money to sign Bernardo Silva, and we're like, well, we do need a midfielder. Barcelona need money. If Bernardo Silva leaves Man City, it could mess up their season. Are we playing chess, boys?
I would do it.
100%. I would do it
Are we?
now.
Are we?
Now,
us get De Jong and them lose Bernardo.
Bro, if we get De Jong, when I say the link is there,
I'm telling all of you now, though, and I'm saying this categorically now. And if you disagree, you disagree. Fair enough. If we sign Frankie De Jong, which would be in excess of 60 million, any hope you had that next summer would go for another midfielder is done.
Oh yeah,
done. Forget your Bellinghams. Forget your anything. Whatever money you spent on a midfielder now, unless it's Kabak type situation where it was a player we didn't really think was good enough, it's money from next summer's budget. Just know that. Know that now.
Don't get Tillemans and Milinkovic-Savic. One of them two.
No, Milinkovic would cost quite a lot, Cal.
I don't think he would, you know. I don't
Milinkovic-Savic, would he cost
I think he'd easy 40 to 50 mil, man.
The thing is,
I don't think we'd get him for cheap.
Everyone kind of knows what you have to do to get Frankie. I think it's more of a case of if he actually wants to go, because obviously Man United, Chelsea can afford him. Like, we know it's kind of 60 million pounds sterling to kind of get him. Yeah, it's about the whole wages thing. Like, I don't think
it's quite long though, isn't it?
He doesn't want to leave
money wise.
Yeah, he don't want to leave Barca. I just think it's whether you can say to him, "Bro, do you know what? I know you don't want to leave Barca, but we can give you a decent amount of money at least, and not only that, you're still going to be playing Champions League and you're going to be playing for big honors." I think the reason why he hasn't got Man United because he's unsure about the project. I think if he was to leave as things stand and we went into the race, I think it'll be between us and Chelsea. If there were two teams in the Prem that could realistically get it. Oh, sorry, and Man City, obviously. Those would be the three teams. I wouldn't put Man United in there because he's unsure about their future. He wants to win and win now. It'll be out of them three teams: Liverpool, Man City, or Chelsea. So,
KZ, big up, bro. We should have the money.
Yeah.
But we act broke. We do. Let's just keep it a buck. We do.
Anna says Liverpool bid 68 mil for Barella. I think that's fake. That was a fake tweet.
Yeah. I'm not even going to let myself get excited about that.
Which centre midfielder would you want Liverpool to sign right now? Frankie De Jong for him. For me, it's Milinkovic-Savic.
Out of who?
If we could sign a centre midfielder who's realistic, if I'm being unrealistic, I'm taking Joshua Kimmich. But
no, I'm taking De Bruyne. I'm realistic.
Oh, obviously that's not even unrealistic, man. That's just
No, that's that's stupid. That's just dumb.
I'm not gonna lie, I would want Barella. You know,
I've all the midfielders that are available, or not even available, just there.
And you know what? Maybe an unpopular opinion, but there's a part of me that would believe Frankie De Jong might. I don't know. There might be a better chance of Frankie De Jong being a success at Liverpool than Bellingham, based on Bellingham's age and how much pressure would be put on him. Because I still worry about that. It'd be 19. He'd become a Liverpool to be asked to be the savior. He'd get Gerrard comparisons. It could end up being a Mazza, you know. Do you know how much? And his price tag as well.
Yeah,
so if he comes in at 19 years old for 80 million, people start calling him the new Gerrard. He's got to carry the midfield. But do you know how much pressure that is?
Do you know what it is? This is how I see it. If Klopp was to get Bellingham and use him the way how he uses all of our other midfielders, I don't think we'll see the Bellingham. If he was to get Frankie De Jong, I think he'll treat De Jong like he had Wijnaldum again. So I think De Jong goes in there seamlessly. And the same thing with Barella.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think Barella and De Jong would go in there more seamlessly in terms of what Klopp wants from you. But because as Liverpool fans, we want something a bit more different. We want something like we want a bit more of a goal threat. And maybe Bellingham can do that because he's a slightly bit more of a maverick the way how he plays. I would say Bellingham might have the higher upside in terms of what we would want, but in terms of fitting the system, it will be Barella or De Jong just to seamlessly go in there and go, I need you to basically do what Wijnaldum did, basically.
I'm going to say something a little controversial. I don't think De Jong does great for us in the number 8 position.
Based on what? Why?
I think he'd be fantastic to rotate with Fabinho, but in the 8 position, I don't think he'd work in our system as well.
He's the link, man. Like, he's the link, but bro, do you know how athletic De Jong is? Bro, he's the link, man.
Not disputing the athleticism or anything.
Yeah.
I just think from what we want from an 8, I don't think he's going to give us that.
Bro, you see how we talk about we need the right hand side to be unlocked. De Jong would have it unlocked, you know. He can go up and down the pitch all day long. I know what you're saying in terms of because we want to go. We basically We don't like.
For me, he rotates with Fabinho and Thiago, but he doesn't solve the issue of the right hand side.
He might not. Do you know what it is? He's the closest thing that we could, basically. I know we might not necessarily want to do this, but he replicates Wijnaldum like a T. If we're talking ball progression, tight spaces, can't get the ball off man and keeping things ticking over, he's the guy. But if you want a goal scorer midfielder, then no, he's not the guy. I'm just talking about in our system, in the way how Klopp, from over the years in history, how we've always played, he does fit the bill. However, I think as fans, maybe we just don't want it, but we can't sit here and say he wouldn't fit the bill, though, bro. He would do what Wijnaldum does, like to a T, in my opinion, anyway.
Fair dues. Ash says, imagine your son wins Olympic gold and becomes unified champ and bags 100 mil, and Bob on Twitter reckons you're a bum. Cracks me up the way people think about these elite athletes like AJ, Rousey, McGregor, etc. Facts upon facts.
I think that's the biggest misconception about Conor McGregor. People, casual people, or people who don't watch MMA, think that he's just a talker and then he lost the fight, say he must be shit. People don't realize the real Conor McGregor was a G.
But that's the problem. I don't think you can compare Anthony Joshua with Conor McGregor, because Conor McGregor has done so many things outside of UFC that have just been a mazza.
Mm. Oh, like, yeah, not comparing the two. Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of talent and stuff, yeah. Vern says, Drift, I was there when Skinny Macca switched on you at Selhurst Park, told you to calm down in it, and you to get the local hero was shocking, to be honest.
I don't know what that's all. No.
Skinny Macca.
I don't know if that's a joke that didn't go well or what. I don't know what he's talking about. But,
I'm confused.
Who the hell is Skinny Macca? And I've never even been. I think I've only been to Selhurst Park once, and it was like when I was a kid. So
I feel like there's a joke in there somewhere, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think the joke's just been lost. Like, I don't know, mate. I don't know.
Bajan Bar says, big up, fellas. We need us another members calling show. We will get one sorted.
Yeah, we'll get around to that.
We'll have one, yeah, because with the transfer window kind of hotting up, I'm sure there'll be one like where it's when we've had the completion of the window, whatnot.
Bajan Basel says, Matt, any of the teams in NBA now beats Jordan and Bulls in a final? No, not for me. Jordan was different.
In my opinion, the only team that could potentially give him trouble is Golden State. That's because the way how they play, like the way how they spread the floor, and you've got the shooters of Clay and Steph. I think that causes Jordan problems because here's the thing, because Jordan can probably like maybe even clamp down Steph, but then you've also got to worry about Clay. So it's like they got that two-headed monster. But then again, I suppose you could say Pippen maybe shuts down Clay, but I think it'll be Golden State out of all the teams. If not that, one other team in a weird way would be the Lakers, only because of, let's say it was the Lakers that won in the bubble. It'll be because AD and LeBron, especially like AD, like who can guard AD, that'll be really tough for them personally. But that's a stretch though. That's at a stretch.
All right,
Lynch has actually just said on Twitter.
I'm just about to read what Lynch says. So Klopp hints Liverpool may be ready to do business before the transfer window shuts. You can imagine we'd already read that one out. On Naby Keita out for the Bournemouth game, Klopp says it's a muscle. It's not 100% clear. And he's also recently said Liverpool are now actively looking to sign a midfielder before the transfer deadline, with Klopp admitting I was wrong on the need for reinforcements. So we'll see what happens between now and the end of the window.
Liverpool are now looking to sign a midfielder.
The owner said you can have some money if you hold the smoke.
We can't keep on changing the narrative, bro.
That's crazy.
I'm not changing any narrative.
Man, come out and said what he said, bro.
Guys, can I just say something without even going into like not arguing thing? I just think we can only look at that as a positive, because if we do get someone over the line, we just got to hope it's the right. Because I'm gonna be honest.
I was gonna say, is it a panic buy now?
This is one thing I will agree with Klopp.
Yeah,
it's
it
got
is.
to be the right player. Like, you know, like how we done a couple of seasons ago when we done the whole centre back thing, and we got the centre backs that didn't make no sense. We got a hologram and a man that we knew wasn't good enough. It's not about doing one of them. It's if we get the right player. Let's just hope that we can do something, guys. Let's not argue and debate who was lying, who was not. Let's just hope we can get a midfielder in, bro, of high quality.
I think the player that comes in will be even more obvious how close we are to the truth. Like if we sign an absolute bad
I know
boy
what you mean.
midfielder,
Yeah.
then I'll maybe say, oh, maybe Klopp was more to blame. Maybe.
But
If
how
we
can
sign
we,
someone that we can blatantly tell it's like,
I'm
this
hearing it's
guy's not
Sucic
really good
still, you
enough.
know.
That's what I'm saying. How can we sign a bad boy now? Because how is the team who's selling the
Everyone
bad boy gonna face
knows
the bad
that we're
boy?
after midfielder as well. That's the killer, bro.
Well,
Everyone knows.
Well, no, but then that will be even more when I will know that FSG weren't being stingy because they'd have to pay a lot of money to get the player in, and then it'll be like, well, I can't really say FSG was stingy because they spent all this money.
No, but that doesn't make
Even
sense.
though it would technically be Bellingham's money, so it's like I don't know anymore, man.
Fam, all I want to see tomorrow morning is Liverpool agree fee for Bellingham or something. I just need, or Frankie or something. I just need to see some. Now that I'm hearing this, let's not get too gassed. Let's just pump the brakes.
I still believe it is what it is. I don't think we will sign anyone.
Fair enough. I think we might now, because I can't lie to you. That's a big change in attitude. From the man was name dropping Tyler Morton, talking about how he can play in the 8 and out of 6, and now going from we need to do something.
Okay. Interesting.
I'm gonna make some. Well, you know, you guys know I'm gonna message it. You know, I'm gonna message.
What if we get a loan?
Won't be alone. I don't think so.
Rude Boy LFC says Bernardo Silva appears to be open to the notion of joining Liverpool if the perfect opportunity arises. That ain't happening, bro.
I don't
and that
want
says
that right at Liverpool.
40 to 50 mil is a standard fee now. Look at Wolves. Yeah.
It is actually becoming the fees.
Oh, you man! Imagine if we bring forward our plans again. Imagine, that'd be crazy, isn't it?
Well, if it's Bellingham, then it's blatantly obvious, isn't it?
That'd be kind of mad still.
Dortmund are not selling Bellingham.
Yeah. I know it's not Bellingham. Do you know who? I'm hoping it's Barella, because about a month ago, Klopp actually spoke very fondly of Barella, but 70 million is a lot of money, so I doubt it very much. But that would be amazing if it was Barella.
Jamrock says, would De Jong play in the same role and way under Jurgen Klopp? How he plays.
One thing I will say about Klopp that I'm not really that fond of is he does seem to always want to play a player not really where he's supposed to play. Yeah. He does like to do that shoehorning thing. So, yeah.
This is from Klopp. I know we have this discussion. I'm the one who said we don't need a midfielder, and now we go for a midfielder, and you were all right, and I was wrong.
No. He's saying it tongue in cheek, though. No.
That sounds very sarcastic to me.
No. He was apparently he was joking when he said it, but you know that one's being serious. So he's joking, being like, "You guys are right, I was wrong." But reportedly, he's said, "We are trying to do something." You know that one's there. Let's see what happens.
Boy, I'm not confident of us getting someone because I think the narrative will now be there wasn't a player available at the right price and all that. I see there being a narrative.
There will be a narrative.
What I'm more worried about, Cal, is it will be a Kabak situation where there'll be a body coming in, but he's clearly just not good enough. Do you know what I mean? That's what I think will happen anyway.
I can't handle another hologram.
And it'll be a stopgap to next summer.
I don't think it will be.
Nah.
We'll either get someone in or we don't. We won't be a loan deal, I don't think.
No, I'm just saying the Kabak level of player. Like, I don't want to be disrespectful, but my man from Sheffield United, he's a good player. But he's not Liverpool.
Can we just stop doing that?
You know what I'm saying? Like something like that where we're looking at it and we're like,
I don't want to think about them man there, you know.
Yeah, Sanderberg, yeah. It'll be somebody like that. Like that's what I reckon it'll be, but we'll see, innit? We'll see. I hope it's not Asensio, man. That wouldn't even make sense.
Right, people. We're going to sign off there. A bit of a bombshell now. We wait and we see. Does anything happen before the 31st of August? Less than a week away, Wednesday. That's subsequently. Well, we can't even do anything on Wednesday. We've got a game on Wednesday. So
Klopp.
we'll have to get something sorted before Wednesday.
Paqueta's in England, you know, big man. Klopp, Ward, Paqueta's in England, you man.
Even Fabrizio, see, a lot of people are gathering up pace now. So this is what Fabrizio said. Liverpool will now try to sign a midfielder. Jurgen Klopp announces, yes, I'm the one who says we don't need a midfielder, and you were all right, I was wrong. That's a tongue-in-cheek thing. But then he goes, now we are now we are going for midfielder. We will do something, but it has to be the right one.
Carl's right. We're not going to get anyone, and he'll go, it wasn't the right one.
Well, I guess we'll find out whether he feel like it's the right one or not. One thing I do find a bit mad is that he just openly said it. Yeah, we want a midfielder. Everyone jack up your prices.
Yeah, this.
The only reason why he might have said it is because we already have it like agreed,
lined up. Yes.
Yeah, that's the only thing it can be like because like. But then who is it? Is it? I don't. It's not going to be a bad boy if we've done it that quick, is it?
I'm messaging someone right now. I need to know. I can't wait. Are we getting someone or we not?
Shimron says 5 minutes left in the game. Prime Ronaldinho or Messi for the win.
Prime R9, we move.
No, Prime Ronaldinho.
No, but I'm Prime R9.
I'm changing the question.
We move.
Ronaldinho.
Am I lying? Let me ask you a little question. If R9 was in there, we'll add him in there.
Yeah, I'm thinking R9.
All right, then. We move.
No, but he's not there, man. We say you're so confident. My man's not even in the question. I don't know who I'm picking.
Hold on. That might Prime Ronaldinho.
Or Prime
I was thinking, did the R mean right now Messi? Because then I was gonna go, definitely.
No.
You man don't understand. I tried to help you, man. I tried not to answer the. You man just didn't jump on. But you man.
Out of those two, call me crazy, but I'm going Deans.
Like I said, Prime R9.
And do you know what? Do you know what made me think it? As spectacular as Messi is, I still feel like Messi needs like a 1-2 with somebody, or like I don't know, like because I'm so used to being like seeing that's like what he would do. Whereas I think Ronaldinho is less likely to need that help of someone.
You've not seen Messi dribble for a bag of man and score drift? Is that what you just?
Yeah. I have, but Messi's magic normally still has like a little 1-2 in it with somebody, or like. Yeah. Like the Iniesta and them man, their days and the little pop-offs and the little and all that kind of stuff. Like
all I'm gonna say to you is just go back and look at Messi's highlights, bro, and then we'll speak about this on Monday.
Obviously, I know he was a dribbling king.
Oh, he's a machine.
I still go Ronaldinho for some reason. I don't know. I would still go Ronaldinho. I don't know. That's just me, but
I genuinely don't know who I'd pick, but yeah, I think when you're saying he needs a 1-2, he don't.
I'm not saying he needs it. I'm just saying in my mind, that's more what I can see when I'm thinking of those like Messi moments.
Listen, we're trying to get midfielder, guys. It's popping. We're trying. I mean, we'll find out tomorrow anyway, because you know how we move anyway. The fact that Klopp has kind of already said that says to me, and I could be wrong, like Drift said, we've already been speaking to someone. Like, there's no way he's going to say that.
Well, people, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't, but most importantly, switch on the notification bell because we might be going live at a time we're not scheduled to go live. So we may have to see what's going on. Tomorrow, we aren't doing a watch along for the game, unfortunately, because it's a 3 o'clock kickoff. We know. But we are back to review. Imagine. But no, we are back for the review straight after the game, hopefully celebrating a win. So do make sure you check us out tomorrow, and you never know. We might be signing a midfielder after all.
There's a little part of me that's starting to think that unless they're about to have like a little quick fire sale, it could be Tillemans. I don't know. That seems like a realistic, cheap option, and the player kind of wants out.
Tillemans would be a great signing for us.
At this stage of everything, yeah, he would. At any stage.
Be a great
No.
signing.
There's still something about him I'm not fully sold on. That if I was picking whoever I wanted, it wouldn't be Tielemans. But he is a good player. So at this point, I'll definitely take Tielemans. You know what I mean? As long as we're going to go and get another player next.
There's
As long
something
as we're
about
going to
him.
go and get another player next summer as well. Yeah.
Agreed, Drift. No, I'm with you on that one still. I can't even lie. With Tielemans.
Boy, well, people, it's been a great show. Till we see you tomorrow. Stay safe, stay blessed. We are Kopish and we're out, people. Take care.
Peace.